be not a question, as Johnny said, of if. I think it is when we come, which will be clear on the 28th of December. You are going to see a new tenor in the public discourse of our country. Because our thing is going to be about all Ghanaians who can assist in pushing and the Ghanaian ship through these turbulent seas. That person is welcome on board the NPP bandwagon. That's the language. And we're no longer going to have the language of thieves, of people are corrupt. What is the language we've heard in Rawlins' time? As if somehow or other.
People are doing business. I want you to respond. People are doing business in this country. They don't have a problem with the environment. They are doing business. They are reaping on their investments, and there isn't a problem. It's unfortunate to use this to try to create an impression that the business community in this country is living in terror of government and all that. That certainly is not true. Businesses have grown under this government, probably far more under this government than in the history of this country. A lot of businesses are thriving. Ghanaians are doing well.
You can't see it grow much more than an NPP government, can you? Not necessarily. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, well, I think that this government has done well, and that we have set the stage for moving into an accelerated growth of the private sector.
Perhaps these are personal positions, you know, in a sense. I mean, like the examples you gave, these are, honestly speaking, things that the president has said. Does the party distance itself from that kind of position? Perhaps that's not the position of a party or of a mills.
Well, I don't like the statements overblown to indicate that because the president said that, the business community is living in fear. That's the impression that Ado is trying to create. Unfortunately, that is not the situation. Business is growing. We have come from a certain period, you know, coming from the PNDC era, you know, into the democratic period. We started an experiment in democracy again. Everybody has been learning since then. You cannot take certain statements that were made in a certain period, in a certain context, and use them to characterize the history of the country since then till now. I think that is wrong.
For the new patriotic party, General Mosquito.
Sorry, the slip of time. The chairman.
Let me gladly accept the honor conferred on me as the acting national chairman of NPP by His Majesty the representative of the King of Mapru. He's our grandfather, so I can't reject any title that is conferred on me. But it is fitting and proper, because the NPP national chairman come from my place. We are brothers. Unfortunately, after the friendly defeat, he's gone into hiding. So if there's somebody who should take care of his party in his absence, I have accepted that responsibility. And so, my brothers, the Kukru died. If you need any advice as to how to get out of your problems, you can come to your brother, General Mosquito. I will be acting until my brother comes back to active politics, or you find a befitting replacement. Thank you very much. We are merging the chiefs and the Wulamus. Even as we find answers in foreign religions, you've all heard about various prophecies, some of them claiming to play the role of God. So, and some threatening our leadership, that more calamities are on the way to happen unless certain things are done. My belief is that what will happen will happen. And we are not going to be cowed away from taking necessary decisions that will restore this country. And I know the way our chiefs are rallying around His Excellency the President, I know he will continue to be emboldened to take the right decisions that will reset this country, whether there are prophecies or no prophecies. And I want to urge all of us to use this moment as a solemn occasion to find out what went wrong. I want to urge our chiefs and traditional rulers that there is nothing shameful about our culture. Let us do honor to our culture. If as an individual you convert to any other religion, you have your freedom to practice your religion. But this is the land of Ghana.
We're holding Ticket 9 against the backdrop of a rapidly changing world trade order. Multilateralism is on the retreat, and countries are increasingly acting unilaterally in their relationship with the rest of the world. The world's largest economy that should be the driver of global trade and investment has become more insular and transactional in its outlook. The recent round of tariffs and retaliatory tariffs have spooked world trade and the global economy. The full effects of these trade wars will have ripple effects on global growth and prosperity for years to come. We must form a coalition of the willing to create alternative markets for sustainable global growth. Africa is open for business and is the next frontier for trade and investment, with a population of 1.4 billion people and a fast-growing middle class. Africa has the potential, with the African Continental Free Trade Area, to become a significant player in the global economy. While partnerships such as what we are forging here in Ticket 9 are important, a lot of responsibility rests on the shoulders of African leaders to create an environment that is conducive to trade and investment. We wish to partner with any nation of the world on a basis of win-win, but let us not kid ourselves. Trade and investment will not come to Africa merely because we wish it. We must undertake the hard but necessary reforms to make Africa an attractive destination for investment. And that is why we must silence the guns and stop the fighting. That is why we must reform our economies and make them more stable and predictable. And it is why we must reform our governance and make public service accountable and free of corruption. We thank Japan for its unconditional support for African development. But as we've emphasized here in Yokohama, we must move from handouts to leveraging our partnerships with countries like Japan to co-create prosperity for all stakeholders. We can combine Japan's technology and innovation with Africa's natural resources and youthful, skilled human resource to create growth and prosperity for all. Ticket 9 must mark the pivot where Africa changes the narrative and puts its house in order to earn a place at the global table. I thank you, Co-Chair Kishida.
When President Mahama appointed me, the charge he gave me, his marching orders, was that we should prioritize economic diplomacy. And so you will have observed that in all we have been doing at the Foreign Ministry, we have put the economic fortunes of our country at the forefront, because that is the mandate the President has given us. On the 1st of September, the President will be launching the first of its kind, a novel KPI, key performance indicators, for all ambassadors and diplomats from the Republic of Ghana. This has never happened in our history. And when you peruse that document, you will see that economic diplomacy is at the heart of it. The President wants our diplomacy to make an impact Our diplomacy must lead to the improvement in the lives of the people. Diplomacy must promote investment, and diplomacy must create a safe haven for all of those who invest in our country. And that is what the Foreign Ministry has been charged to do.
And the thing is, what does Ghana have to offer? Strategic geographical location. Ghana is a country through which the meridian and the equator intersect. The two intersect in Ghana's territory, just a few kilometers off our shore. And it's also the host country for the African Continental Free Trade Area. You all have heard the landmark protocol that was signed by African countries. So far, almost 50 African countries have signed that allow us to export duty-free, tariff-free into each other's markets. Increasing numbers of products are being registered. And once you register your product and it meets all the standards, you can export duty-free and tariff-free into each other's markets. And as you were told, the sub-regional market, which is West Africa, is 400 million people. Ghana is 33 million people. And the continental market is 1.4 billion people. And so with the vehicle of the African Continental Free Trade Area, you potentially can export into 1.4 billion market. Simon said it, we are re-establishing macro stability and growth momentum of the economy. Inflation rose to a high of almost 23% in 2024 and is currently down to 13.7%. And we expect that by the end of the year to hit single digit. And it's also, our CD has stabilized. For those of you who know the history of the Ghanaian CD, it's been one of the most volatile currencies in Africa. And a few years back, we were said to be the worst performing currency. I'm happy to announce that this year, Ghana CD has been the best performing currency in the world. And as Simon said, we've been upgraded from junk status to B- with a stable outlook. And I'm certain that in the next review, we're going to be upgraded again. We're open for business, and Simon and co are busy at work reviewing the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act. Some barriers were put to foreign investment. You had to prove that you had brought in a certain amount of money to be classified as a foreign investor. In the reviewed Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act, we're removing those minimal capital investments. Ghana has a very young population, English speaking, and they're very smart and quick to upskill in any areas, robotics, AI, fintechs. The fintech sector is one of the fastest growing in Ghana than in any other African country. And so GIPC sold itself. It says it will fast track your approvals. And so any investor who wants to come, your first port of call is the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. And once you go, they would lead you and fill out all your company registration forms, get you your tax identification number and everything. And Simon said in 24 hours. And so I'm holding him to that promise. Any of you who comes and he goes beyond 24 hours, just report him to me. I talked already of the Volta Economic Corridor. And so we're looking for anchor businesses to take advantage of that. We also have the opportunities for mitigating your risk by doing PPPs. That is, government will partner with you to invest if you are interested. We currently do not provide sovereign guarantees in terms of borrowing, but our guarantees are that your business, will be protected and will not be expropriated. We also have blended finance for huge projects, and so that is available. We have local partnership, and as you were told, some of our big businessmen are here. And so setting up joint ventures with Ghanaian businessmen who know the terrain and would be something that is useful. And so I invite you to pilot with that. Select any of the areas, if it's automotive, if it's agro-processing, it is investment in green transition. You can join us and partner to be able to do that. You can use Ghana, as I said, as your West African hub and locate your regional office in Ghana or your production line in Ghana for export into the sub-region. You can also invest with our universities and vocational institutions to establish training centers that will be tied to whatever investments that you want to do. Ghana is a land of opportunity, and many nationals from all over the world are investing in Ghana. As I said, we wish to, because of the discipline, quality standards, and industrial wisdom that Japanese businessmen have, we wish to encourage Japanese businessmen to look towards Ghana. Africa is the next frontier for investment. Most parts of the world are saturated when it comes to investment. Africa is opening up, is growing, and is a place that Japan should be looking at. And so let us marry Japanese precision with Ghanaian potential and create a win-win situation for ourselves. Before I take my seat, my minister's advisors, CEO of GIPC, Ghana Export Promotion Agency, and our ambassadors will all be in this room after we finish this opening session, and they'll be happy to sit with you and discuss further what the opportunities are in Ghana. My copyright, Ghana is open for business, is here, and I don't charge for it anyway, so we're open for business 24 hours a day, and at this decisive moment in our history, we're working towards the economic transformation of Ghana. Our nation is embracing a bold vision, one that harnesses innovation, industrialization, and regional integration to unlock the full potential of our people and our resources. Our vision is anchored in our 10 billion big push, and the $10 billion big push is a program to improve the infrastructure of our country, especially in the road sector, in the industrial sector, agro-processing space, and all that. So we're investing $2 billion a year in infrastructure development.
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. Today is the 26th of August, 2025. This is the day the Lord has made. Indeed, we're glad in it. I want to say a big thanks to the Almighty God for keeping us alive and kicking. We're back again to join the nation's conversation on the big issues that are making the rounds in our dear country, Ghana. My name is Awudu Moro, and once again, thank you very much for always tuning into your numero uno, your #1 morning current affairs TV program. That's Good Morning Ghana. So we'll go straight ahead and look at what the newspapers are reporting this morning. It's Daily Graphic says that President Mahama in Singapore for state visit. Graphic Greta Home Fair opens Thursday, highlights A1 for smart cities, tech-driven homes. There's also Z9 helicopter crash probe underway, report expected in 30 days. Yoko recovers 100 stolen vehicles, wants public to be vigilant. The Ghanaian Times. Ghana seals deals at TICAD 9. Infrastructure agric high on agenda. helicopter crash, investigations begins. So investigation begins here. So government secures 33,600 mpox vaccine doses to boost epidemic response. Hold contractors accountable for damages to water infrastructure, PURC. 5 killed, house torched in land dispute at Gbenyere. Daily Guide. U.S. assists Ghana in helicopter crash investigations. No overstatement of public debts. Controller. Finance Ministry in 1.3 million cedis procurement breach. Top justices, lawyers rally for Tokono. 5 killed, 6 sustained injuries over Gbenyere land disputes. The Insight newspaper, Glasspetter flaws Total Energies in High Court dispute over MOU, ATM, others. ECG strengthens partnership with Brainsfield to boost metering innovation. And there's terrorism. VIV tax armed forces to be prepared for emerging threat. ALBA, TCP countries condemn United States imperial military moves against Venezuela. Towards reset agenda, schools, hospitals, others to enjoy high-speed internet. Immigration Service warns public against recruitment fraud, scam. Investigate attempted murder case at Kolebu. Ga youth appeal to IGP Christian Tete Yohono. Daily Post. GNAFF petitions Nursing Council to sanction GRNMA's David Tinkran over derogatory remarks. Ghana will soon have a commanding voice in the ICT industry across the globe, says Dr. Kevo. And the Z9 helicopter crash investigations board begins work. BNFT, CSOs warn PRMA amendment could obscure oil revenue spending. And then there's capitalize on city gains to import agric manufacturing machinery, AGI treasurer. There's also Ethel Kofi leads women in fintech delegation to BOG. Yield compression slow down to persist in 2H25 as Treasury prepares bond market return. And as Bayport delivers stronger H1 2025 results, surpass full year 2024 profits in 6 months. So that's it for the front pages of the newspapers that we have this morning. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
I'm here at Mycom JA Limited to show you the Promethean Active Panel, the ultimate tool for corporate institutions, hospitals, schools, and your home. With its crystal clear 4K display and an unbreakable screen with an ultra responsive touch technology, this isn't just a screen, it's a game changer. For corporate institutions and in schools, this active panel can be used for Zoom meetings and PowerPoint presentation. And oh, your homes are not left behind. You can use it to watch all your favorite programs by just connecting to a Fire Stick, and you can get access to channels like Netflix and Amazon, and voila, you are in there. At Mycom JA Limited, we provide you with the best quality products from the United States of America with 1-year warranty. You can get an active panel at a discounted price of 18,000 Ghana cedi only, and it comes with a Fire Stick, a webcam, and a microsystem. You can locate us at Chado Container behind the Trade Fair. Visit Mycom JA Limited today and elevate your tech.
Chia winning Nara, we ding edge baby da pa. Media dear sonko cran ebremo. Now that what we any woman would be an egg, Japan, a debremo. And no, any some spices. Some spices in here, and wow, no bebreo. Various flavors. Ubenya a yako, Ubenya nemchi. You do good jollof muma and we get dead. Ubenya ye do quam, you do for you. Hot nako pibito. Na Emma with Gianni, and yet dead. When you mean ya, young con your cocoa now for acre.
Autant voyer communication ni o enjoy utuba da samu spices. One in the essence, no time. I'm taking the Samu spices in a Sabi, daddy so say. Samu spices, Moon Sam.
Samu spices, Yama chicken.
Samu spices.
Nsaka in Kitswa, mixture 10 grams. Your chicken, spaghetti, garlic and ginger, stew, can jollof, and the flavors of Bebre.
Samu spices, yes, Saka.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calcate's Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush. Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calcates. Happy smile.
I'm a brand manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printings. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame? As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey you later.
Of course.
Go be the luckiest, copy from the jet be luckiest, from not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest, everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Senya God the apple boom. If you put it to so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey! Is that his car?
Everywhere.
Dial star 712 #. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompt and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here.
Her photographs are going to sell fast and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend?
Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
You're live and good morning, God, on Metro Television. Now, this show, I need to remind you, is also live on 94.1 FM on your radio dial. So joining me this morning is Mr. Ernest Adade, who is the member of the MPP's communications team. And shortly we'll also be joined by a private legal practitioner, Hamza Suhini, and also a member of the NDC's communications team as well. Ernest, good morning. And it's always a pleasure to have you join us on the show.
Good morning, Moro.
I hope everything is fine, sir.
Grace. I think this week we've been favored, right?
Yes.
This is the second time. I was here on Saturday. And today too. So I think it's special grace. And we have to give glory to God. Somebody couldn't wake up anyway.
Absolutely.
And we are here.
You know, when I'm introducing the program every day, I say most thanks to the Almighty God for, first of all, keeping us alive. And not just being alive, but we're kicking. And we're happy that we're back again to join the nation's conversation because of what you just said. Now, oftentimes we take, this whole exercise of sleeping and waking up as a very normal, it's almost like it's a right, but it's actually a privilege. And I've also said it time and again that when you step out of your house and you come back home safe and sound, you must really be grateful. But oftentimes we rather want to show more appreciation, gratitude, and honor and everything to God only when, say, maybe you find a wife or you have a child or you make money, But
get some nice
these things, but these things are extremely important, and you won't appreciate them to hear other people's stories.
Because, in fact, yesterday in the evening, I was saying that I got home a little late. But in the morning when I left home, as I was driving out, I chanced on some heavy accidents.
I see.
And went. And as I was coming back, another accident. In fact, in the evening, some motorbike was knocked down by some car, and Charlie, that didn't look bad. So I was saying, most of the time, you just get into your car, you drive out, you go up and down the whole day. In the evening, you drive back home. And when nothing has happened to you, no accident, no trouble, no nothing, and you arrive home, we take it for granted. But I think, like I said, it's a special grace that we enjoy, and therefore, everybody has some deity that you believe in. I believe that we, those who are Christians, we always give glory to God for being faithful to us. And then we go and come, and in tomorrow morning we are up again. It's just by the special grace of God.
Yeah, and we shouldn't take it for granted at all. But who's your designer? Because I like yours. I like your sense of fashion.
Yeah, he's a good guy. The guy is good. He's called Nuna. So most of the time you will see, when I wear them, you see his logo here.
I mean, his concepts have a way of making you look much younger than your age. When we is 60. Oh, you're 60 years. You look 40 something.
I look 60, yeah.
No, but you've confided in me, so I know what
I'm way
saying.
younger than that. way younger than that. So let all the nice young ladies think I'm an old man.
Yes. Well, good to see you once again.
Thank you.
You know. Anyway, so our president has been very busy attending to some international assignments. They mostly have been about visitations. And he was in East Asia, that's Japan, and now he's in Singapore. It's in Southeast Asia. Yes, I think I get that correctly. So he's in Singapore, and he is there to deepen and to strengthen Ghana's relationship with this particular country, Singapore. You know, one of the things about Singapore that a lot of people don't know, it's actually one of the cleanest countries in the world. You know, they take their how do you call it, their sanitation issues very seriously. Yes, that's one of the things that people admire about Singapore. For they have similar culture with China, you know, because we all know the history. Singapore, I believe, used to be part of China. So that's the thing. So our president was in Japan, and we are told by today's Ghanaian Times that he has been able to seal a deal in infrastructure and agric, and also yesterday there was a business summit in Singapore. And that business summit, we understand that he delivered a keynote address. And in that keynote address, he said quite a bit. And you notice that some of the newspapers have actually carried it. So it's a keynote address to open the 8th Africa Singapore Business Forum. You know, yes. And you know, that's where Annie is on an assignment. Yes, on a Metro TV assignment. So she's there covering that event, and she has been doing some interactions. She's been talking to some of the key players as far as this event is concerned. So before we watch that Annie video, let me just do this briefly. Let's first of all look at the Japan event, and then we'll look at that of Singapore as well. Now, we're told that that Julius Yao Petitsi is reporting that President John Dramani Mahame's attendance to the just ended 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development, TICAD 9, is set to deliver remarkable and tangible outcomes for Ghana. The President, with his delegation, including ministers of state and heads of agencies, has reached a myriad of agreements with the Japanese government and businesses at a 3-day conference in Yokohama, Japan. Now, some of the areas of renewed and deepened cooperation include infrastructure development, industrialization, technology, agriculture, amongst others. For example, both Ghana and Japan have agreed to provide the additional funding required to revive the Volivo to Dofor Adidome Bridge across the Volta region. The engagement is subsequent to the commitment of Japan through its International Cooperation Agency earlier in June, with the senior executive vice president of the agency. It's called Miyazaki Karsura, called on the president at the presidency in Accra. The Kumasi Inner City Ringway project was also a subject of discussion between the two countries and is to commence soon. The project aims to improve the traffic condition in Kumasi by upgrading intersections on the Kumasi Inner Ring Road and widening the two-lane road between the two intersections to 4 lanes to enhance the city's connectivity with other cities and towns. Now, through the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Agribusiness, the government also reached a deal with Japanese car maker Toyota to expand its operations in Ghana, make Ghana its West African hub, and promote the manufacturing of environmentally friendly vehicles, starting with hybrid electric vehicles. With Japan considering to invest a dedicated 1.5 billion cedis in Africa in the short term, Ghana is positioning itself to tap into the pool with an elaborate industrialization plan anchored on the 24-hour economy policy. In the area of agriculture, President Mahama personally led discussions for an agreement with Japanese firm Degas for $100 million investment over the next 4 years to help establish Ghana as Africa's first AI-powered agricultural hub. So that's with what happened in Japan, more specifically TICAD 9 or TICAD 9. Now, the Daily Graphic, even though it's a little late with the report, and that's perfectly understandable because they went to what they call it? Yes, it was printed last night, and the event actually happened in the wee hours of the morning, so it's perfectly understandable. So they say President Mahama in Singapore for state visit, and it's a Newsdesk report says President John Rouhani Mahama arrived in Singapore yesterday for a 3-day state visit aimed at strengthening bilateral cooperation, expanding trade and investment. The visit will also help in advancing partnerships in education, science and innovation, urban solutions, agribusiness, and the digital economy. While in Singapore, President Mahama will hold bilateral discussions with the President of Singapore, Tharman Shanmugaratnam. Yeah. Let me repeat that. He's called Tharman Shanmugaratnam. And the Prime Minister, he's called Lawrence Wong. He will also deliver the keynote address at the 8th Africa Singapore. So it is why he says he will deliver. It was delivered yesterday at the 8th Africa Singapore Business Forum, and headline a Ghana country-specific investment and business forum that would convene public and private sector leaders to unlock new opportunities between Ghana and Singapore. Now, Ghana and Singapore share a forward-looking outlook anchored on innovation, skills, and enterprise. Now, this visit will translate our shared values into practical cooperation, bringing Singaporean investment and know-how into Ghana's priority sectors while opening new pathways for Ghanaian businesses across Southeast Asia, President Mahama said on arrival. President Mahama was accompanied by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, advising especially to the President, Joyce Bawa Muktari, the Minister of Trade and Agriculture, Agribusiness and Industry, Elizabeth Owusu Ejari, and the Minister of Education, Haruna Idrisu. Other members of the delegation are the Presidential Spokesperson and Minister for State for Government Communication, Felix Ofusu-Kwakye, the CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Simon Majide, and the CEO of the Ghana Export Promotion Authority, Francis Kwarteng Atta. All right. So, sorry about that. The president has been very busy, and he's been trying to basically, get as much investment for Ghana as possible. What are your thoughts?
Good morning, Moro, and your cherished viewers all over the world. The president had just moved out, and he's trying to look for support for this country. We are a country where, even though that's not what most of us have been, it's not something that makes all of us proud. But anytime we will do something in this country, we have to go outside and look for support. Virtually every time there is anything to do, we will move out with cap in hand. Everybody has spoken about this. The countries, virtually everybody has a problem with that. To the extent that the previous administration, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government brought this program where Ghana should come to a time when we wouldn't need aid to survive. Not let alone just go around borrowing money from anybody and begging anybody for something.
That's you mean Ghana without aid?
Ghana beyond aid.
Beyond aid, sorry.
Yes.
Not without,
so
but
we should aid. We should be able to grow our country to the extent that we can live on our own. Yeah. And if somebody is coming here, he's coming here because he wants to do business with us and not, we are living in the global village where no one country lives on its own. Yeah. So we interrelate, we do business with each other and all that. So for us, if anybody is coming here, the fellow should be coming here to come and do business with us, and not necessarily every day we going around begging somebody for apps. Can you come and help us? Do you have some loose money in the bank that you can lend to us to go and use? So we are always building debt. Always building debt. And for so many years now, every year we add more. So you end up seeing that the country's debt never goes down. And then we do politics with it. When NDC is in power, we make so much noise about the fact that Ghana's debt is that when MPP was in power, Ghana's debt had ballooned from here. We also came out, the MPP came out to say that you took it from 8 billion and you left it at 126 billion. And then you took it from 126 billion. And it is still the same thing we are doing. Still the same, that we are still going out. And if the Japanese are coming into the country, all the Singaporeans are coming into the country, they are coming to invest. So we are looking at either these people are coming as for foreign direct investment, FDIs, or they will be coming in to establish, or they will be coming in to give us some support that we will have to pay back. All these things, we have to begin to structure them properly. Right. As a country, we have to begin to give ourselves some respect and look at the dignity that we will have to derive. If we are bringing them to come and invest so that we will all make the returns, we make profit, that's business, and that should be good. Now we have oil, our gold is still there, it's not finished yet, and we have other natural resources that other countries are using to make themselves rich, to make the country move forward, and not we go and borrow money, we say we are coming to do some roads in Kumasi. If they bring those resources, they are bringing it, some will come as a grant, some will come as loans, maybe some will come in between. They will give you part loan and part grant and all that. They will say go and look for counterpart funding and all that. And at the end of the day, most of the roads are still there. And then we will go and borrow. The painful part of this, especially if we are going for loans and everything, the very painful part of it is that we go and take a loan and say we will do a road. This is a 20-year loan that we have taken. That will, a loan that we will pay over a period of 20 years, right? These 20 years that we are going to be paying the loan, we did a road that will last for 5 years. So there is an overlap. We borrowed some amount of money, use it to do a road. The road do not even span half the time of our repayment period. And then we have to look for another money, which will be a loan to come and just repair the road that we have done, that the loan is still running. And so it's quite unfortunate. And as a country, we should begin to look at a situation where, unless the fellow is bringing us aid, quote and unquote, money that is free, some form of help, they are coming to support us in an area where we are not necessarily having to go and pay back. Let's begin to look inward and begin to see things that we can do for ourselves as a people. And this one brings us down. You remember, during His Excellency Atamil's era, the British had to come and tell us that accept, LGBTQ and whatever has to do with it. Otherwise, some support that we have promised you will not come. That's the height of disrespect. Take something that you don't like, you don't want, your people say we don't want it, but if you don't accept it, we will not help you. Because you are desperate or what? I don't. So this is the reason why going to Singapore, going to Japan is not a problem per se. The problem is that if we are going to them every day cap in hand, come and help us, that is not right. But if we go because they are ahead of us in terms of technology, and therefore we want you to come and share your technology with us so that we will also be able to move ahead in the technology aspects. We all know that places like Singapore, Japan and things, we were just talking about how clean their countries are off air. These countries, we can learn these things from them. What are they doing that if we also do will help us? But not necessarily. I am not a fan of every day having to go to somebody to go and beg him, come and borrow me small money. As we are here now, Moro, can you imagine every morning I wake up and go, Moro, won't you borrow me some 2 million? Won't you borrow me some 10,000? Won't you borrow me some 5,000? And it will get to a time when you are coming, the people will look at you with some eye. So this successive governments, I'm not just saying His Excellency President Mahama is going to Japan. He's the only person who is going to beg for alms. But even when we raise the issues, our project, the projection is that let's get to a point where this country will stop walking to people to go and say, oh, please, can you give me something small to come and help my country? I have to do some road. Can you help me do the road? I have to do, and we plan our resources properly so that we can use them to bring this country up. Tomorrow, like I just said, we went to China to go and get some money to come and do some roads, right? If the monies came, have we done the roads? If we did the roads, are they giving us value? Because those ones can pay for themselves. When your people are moving and business is going on, you generate wealth for your country. But if we bring them and the things don't do the work they are supposed to do, then we will keep going. So we were in Japan, we went to Singapore. From Singapore, we will go elsewhere, maybe end up in China and go to Russia and go. Every day we are somewhere begging for help. There are so many things. If tourism is something these people have leveraged on, he's in Singapore now, right? And they are doing well with tourism. I was in China some time back and was privileged to go to some of their tourist sites. I went to the Forbidden City. They have so many tourist sites that they have developed. And Moro, the money those tourist sites are making for the country, you'll be surprised. Let me tell you, we have a lot of Anansi stories, right? There is a folklore, a story about a woman who lived somewhere and loved a certain man, and he turned into a snake and whatever, and they built a pagoda around it. And the pagoda, if you go there, the number of people who have heard the story and they want, and do you know what is there? But let me shock you. It's a switch building, what we call mad house here. A mad house that is broken and everything messed up. It's gone. And then they built some glass around it. And there is a story around it. And people are traveling to go and see. If you are talking to me about a mad house, then we have 1 million. I went to Abokobi recently and saw, they said there was a place where the slave trade route used to pass, and they bring people there, and that's where they took their last bath or something before they were shipped out of this country. And the monument or the building is there. You could see some relics, some things left there. And I keep asking myself, then why haven't we developed this thing? Then people will travel from the diaspora to want to see where our their forefathers and the people who came through the slave trade and landed in America, who happened to be their ancestors, where they passed through. You think people will not come and pay money and stay in this country to want to go and see it? The Salaga water slave market, and why didn't we develop them and this thing becomes money for the country? So we can learn those things from them. If you go to Aburi Botanic, I was just reading about Singapore some time back, and that's why I'm raising all these things. That they are making money from just their botanical gardens. Yeah. But Aburi is almost collapsed, right? I don't know what's happening there now, but the last time I went there, there's not much to just stick to.
Yeah.
Why haven't we developed it? Said that if I want a getaway place, Aburi has some lovely weather. If I want somewhere to go and sit and talk and have some quiet time or do something, why can't we, if I want to have some peaceful time and sit and work on my laptop or something, why don't I go there and have a place to sit and all that? So we could have done something about these things, and it becomes money for the country.
Right.
It even helps our mental health and a lot of things for us. So, Moro, it's good we are going, but 99% of the time we are going because we are distressed. We need help. We need money. The country doesn't have money and all that. And there should be a point in time when this thing will stop. If we begin to look at the data, it's terrible. It's terrible. But at the end of the day, Me and the Honorable Suhini will do politics with it. We'll make a lot of noise about it. You took too much loans, and NDC is in power now, and they are going to take loans anyway. They cannot say they won't take. It will be difficult to say they won't take. They will take, and they will be bashed.
Yeah.
And then MPP will come. So let's begin to think of these policies, and how do we get to a point where Ghana will be necessarily without going around borrowing money. If you are there, you have some money and you want to support us. We are doing agriculture, you have equipment, you want to supply equipment and support us with it. Why not?
Yeah. Let me bring in Hamza. Hamza is also there with us now. Hamza is he's a lawyer, a private legal practitioner, and also a member of the NDC's communications team. My brother, good morning. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Muru, and good morning to Ernest.
You went hiatus for a bit. You went to do some underground things.
I wish I could say that.
Defending clients both here in Ghana and abroad.
No. For now, I'm concentrating in Ghana.
Okay.
Maybe in a matter of a month or two, I will decide to go back.
Go back, eh?
And do some more behind the scenes to fill the packets and come back home again.
It's important.
It's important.
The family has been catered for. Yeah. But so we've been looking at the president's trip to Japan, and we're told by the newspapers this morning that the president's been able to seal some deals in the area of infrastructure and also in the area of agriculture, and quite a litany of things that we're told the Japanese have decided to do for us. In fact, I saw that must have been yesterday or Sunday when Ablakwa wrote it on his Facebook page, a wall actually. Most of the newspapers have reproduced it. And then we also told he's in Singapore. We don't know what goodies he's going to come with from Singapore. But before you even come in, please indulge me. I want us to watch Annie's, your own sister and friend, Annie, is in Singapore to cover that assignment for Metro TV. And so let's watch what Annie has been up to. And then I'll come back and Hamza would have his take on the two issues. Let's watch this.
So this is the Grand Copthorne Waterfront Hotel, and as you can see, the setup is already done. We have Enterprise Singapore, the liaison between Ghana and Singapore. They are setting up this whole organization and putting the program together. The program obviously is Africa Singapore Business Forum 26 to 28 August 2025. Singapore is looking at investing in landscape shifting, and Singapore is also actively seeking new reliable partners across Africa, across the globe. They're looking at investing with us in terms of energy, infrastructure, education, and digital technology. The other way around is Ghana has also grown in certain areas that Singapore wants to explore. Minister of State for Government Communications, Felix Kwatio-Fosu, has also been speaking with us here in Singapore.
He is only the second Ghanaian leader, apart from the late Kofi Annan, who was former Secretary General of the United Nations, to be accorded this sort of courtesy and to pay such a high-profile visit to Singapore. Now he is here to engage with leaders of Singapore, the President of Singapore, the Prime Minister of Singapore, high-profile ministers of state in Singapore, business leaders, and the investment community, with a view to deepening bilateral relations between both countries and exploring other avenues of cooperation that would ultimately inure to the mutual benefits of both countries. So that in a nutshell is why President Mama is here.
Here with me is the chairman of the Jospon Group of Companies, Mr. Japon, who is also part of the delegation that came here. So why are you also a part of this group or team of delegation that got here?
Singapore is a very good country in terms of finance. It is a finance hub in terms of investment, in terms of technology. So we all have come to have a feeling of this country, to have a connectivity with other companies, so that we can, if you're a company, you want to grow, these are what are the networks. You need networking, you need kind of capacity of bigger companies to be able to leverage on their experiences, their technology, their human capacity to develop. And so we all have come here to witness and participate in this conference. I like conferences like this personally, to develop the capacity to be able to get to know how businesses are moving on in the world and then how to leverage and build up. So I've come with a delegation of about 8 people from the Jospon group. My CEO is here. We have other CEOs and other staff who have come here to come and learn.
I can actually confirm that a couple of businessmen are also here to be a part of this Africa-Singapore Business Forum. That's because all businesses also want to sell and, of course, spread their tentacles to other parts of the world. Hence, you see the Jospon group of companies here, and also other businessmen, other group of companies are also here to be a part of this conference. We'll bring you some more details as and when it rolls out. So this is the Grand Copthorne Waterfront Hotel, and as you can see, the setup is already done. We have Enterprise Singapore, the liaison between...
Yes, you heard our international correspondent, Annie. Why you laugh? Yeah, she's an international correspondent. That's Annie F144. Now, she did this video before the opening of the summit, where the president delivered that keynote address. This was before, so she was telling us about what to look out for and so on. And so she had the opportunity of speaking to the chairman of the Jospon group of companies, that's Joseph Siawe Japan, and spoke to him about what he thinks about Ghana-Singapore relationship and the importance of this event. So, Hamza.
Yes,
it looks like we're coming from Japan with some goodies, some fantastic news.
Hopefully. Good morning to you.
Singapore, we're waiting to hear what Singapore also has in store, isn't it?
Yeah, good morning to our charity, yes. And of course, your production team as well, Moro. Well, I was listening to Ernest on the issue of debt, and so I would want to start on the base, on that particular issue, about the fact that indeed for some time now we've been engaged with politics as far as the debt situation of the country is concerned. But let me quickly put it on record that what we are having to deal with, especially from 2017 to 2024, is a debt situation never experienced in the history of this country.
Right.
And so if we are talking about it, Ernest, it is largely because of the scale or quantum of debt that was accrued within that space of time. It is not exciting to be making references to the debt situation, but you know that even in basic economics, no one needs to tutor us on the implications on every sector of the economy, especially when your debt levels become clearly unsustainable. And that was the situation that we found ourselves. So I can understand the attempt to create that equalization, that indeed all governments in one way or the other have been engaged.
He's looking for a fight, he cannot.
Have been engaged. This is...
you can sustain it.
Okay. You allow.
It is a fight I can sustain. The figures speaks for themselves. Right. We've never had such a situation. Right. From about 122 billion debt to in excess of 726 billion in a matter of 8 years, with little to show. And so this is a record in terms of how reckless governments can accrue debts with absolutely nothing to show for it. So the record speaks for itself. And that was the reason why it became topical. So it is not like the other debates we've had in the past about sustainability or otherwise of our debt situation. We are dealing with a debt situation that even before 2020, but before the end of 2024, we're shut out of the international capital markets. Unprecedented. And Moro, you need to understand the president's trip and his drive to bring in foreign direct investments by, first of all, looking at the nature of the economy that we inherited. Before His Excellency President Mahama assumed the reins of government, remember that, like I indicated, our debt situation was unsustainable. We're locked out of the capital markets. Many of the international rating agencies rated us junk status. So if you are a president with your sword, and indeed you are committed to resetting not only the political landscape of the country, but largely the economy, first step you must take is to ensure that you bring about confidence within the local economy. And one of the ways to do so is to ensure that you come on board with policies that can engender confidence locally before you now step out of your way to go and attract foreign direct investments. And that is why this government, over the last 7 months, appear to have been working on indicators that actually matter. We've been able to have a handle on our exchange rate situation. Now, the city is doing relatively well. We are hoping that we'll be able to sustain it within that zone. Quite apart from that, our debt situation from there about 724 billion, we've been able to effectively manage it down to about 600 billion now, as we speak, Moro. Now, inflation, quite encouraging, in the region of about 13 and 14%, from about 22% that we inherited. Remember that many of our state agencies are heavily indebted, largely because of the economic policies of the last regime. But what His Excellency President Mahama is doing in terms of this outreach is simply to more or less regain credibility for the Ghanaian economy, to let the international community understand that indeed we have been able to take, or we are still taking some of the hardest decisions intended to bring the economy back to life, and we are at a stage where we are convinced that we need that complementary efforts of foreign direct investments to be able to drive our overall growth. And so you need to understand these trips in the light of that. You see, another interesting aspect of the engagement has to do with where we expect Singapore to come in. The energy sector, for that matter. You know the situation we inherited from this government and their failure to do the necessary investments in that regard, as far as energy is concerned. And if you look at our debt portfolio, the energy sector is one of the heavily indebted sectors of our economy. Today, His Excellency President Mahama is engaging Singapore to see how we can tap into their expertise and investments, if for nothing at all, to bring our energy sector back to life and place it on that path of sustainability. That is progressive leadership. So it is not like many other trips that other presidents have embarked upon. These are targeted interventions or engagements by His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama intended to once again bring our economy back to life. And so it is commendable. We can only hope and pray that politically we conduct ourselves in such a way that it doesn't create instability for those, in the minds of those who are trying to bring their foreign direct investments or their investments into the country. And Moro, I think 2-3 days ago, whilst he was in Japan, he also indicated discussions are ongoing to ensure that at least this issue of minimum capital requirements that foreign businesses would require to come into the country we will have to take a look at it through GIPC amendments and possibly also give that impetus to foreigners to be able to come into this country without many barriers. Clearly in line with that overall objective of ensuring that we attract the needed investments, not only within Africa, but even Asia and the Western world for that matter. These efforts are commendable. These efforts we need to support. These are efforts we all must be excited about and be interested at the end of the day in what it actually brings to the country. And for me, what I would say is that our friends in the New Patriotic Party must be effective partners in ensuring that we secure the needed foreign direct investments into the country, especially knowing the kind of ruins they subjected us to as far as the economy is concerned. And I know my brother Enes would agree. But we are at a stage where we need to rebuild. We are at a stage where we need to bring confidence back to the Ghanaian economy. And there's no better way to do so than to go out there and let the world know that Ghana once again is back to life. We have a working president who is focused on engendering confidence as far as our economy is concerned. And most importantly, we also have a finance minister, the Honorable Dr. Atufosun, who clearly seems to know what he's doing when it comes to the economy of the Republic of Ghana. And so for me, that gives me hope. And we can only urge the president to continue on that tangent. All right. And hopefully the New Patriotic Party would see the need to support us. We are not boasting of having an economic messiah, like our colleagues did. We are dealing with a president who is forthright. We are dealing with a president who is focused. We are dealing with a president who is responding to the issues that truly matter, especially when it comes to our integrity and credibility, economic-wise. And that alone is something we should be proud of.
All right. So I want us to take a short break. I want us to take a short break. We'll find out. We want to take a break. And when we come back, Ernest, I beg you, I want to find out from you whether, I mean, you are Ga, right? I believe so. You are Ga.
I have Ga roots.
Oh, you have Ga roots.
I'm not Ga.
Okay, so where do you come from?
If you say I'm Ga, you would have created a problem.
Oh, okay. You have Ga roots. So if I were to ask about your tribe, where would you?
It's difficult always for me to tell. Very difficult. I have an Ashanti father.
Oh, okay. and a Ga mother.
Dangwe.
Oh, okay.
So you don't belong to both.
Right.
That's why I said when you say I'm Ga, you create problems for me.
Right. I get it. So you speak very good, very fluent Tree.
Very.
Wow.
Very.
Like most of the time, you Ga.
Because I'm here.
I understand.
And kids, when your parents passed, my father passed a little earlier, so you stayed more with your mother.
I agree.
So you hear me speaking Ga, and I married a Ga woman.
Oh,
so
yeah.
So
it's perfectly understandable. Hamza, you are very proud, as you say, Dagbamba, right? Dagomba man, and from Tamale, I believe. You're born and bred in Tamale. Mm-hmm. Now, tomorrow when you decide you want to become president, I don't know how you feel when where you come from in terms of your religion and your tribe is mentioned when that time comes. We'll take a short break. When we come back, there's a matter which is really rearing its very, very ugly head, and we need to try and nip it in the bud. So stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
Whoopee iPhone papa. You homo.
So whoopee iPhones accessories papa dia. Mention baby
ba EBA phones and accessories.
Sebani EBA, yet on iPhones any home accessories. iPhone 50 XL cost 16 Pro Max. Accessories ye wo charger, AirPods, any iPhone home akadie nyina. Yanuma ye ni sika pudu e de beto iPhone. Say ya nkrankre, boja, and na say abanye juma your phone nyina. For 40% beji iPhone bia ope. Na ni aka no, wo de bosome miensa. Etua ne nkakra. E kwan ya obefa so de achi enyi. Dial *713*5571#. Oba, shenu so se wo de wo Ghana card. Eni nia e chere se wo ye adwuma. Hwehwe ye chere kwan e wo circle mo. Eni tiptoe line ye ni modern photos enchen ho a. Afein so, se wo ba American mo a, ye ni odo right e na di nhwani. Kuma senso ye wo edum Central Prisons runabout ejekum abonsan ni mo. Freyen e wo numbers na ebu screen ni so no. EBA phones, no hassle cra.
Are you a headmaster, headmistress, parent, teacher, or an educator looking for high-quality textbooks for preschool, primary, and junior high school students? Look no further than Advocate Publishing Company. Advocate Publishing Company is a leading publisher of educational materials in Ghana that publishes very engaging, interactive, and comprehensive textbooks that meet the needs of students, teachers, and parents. Our textbooks are thoroughly published to make learning fun and easy. They are also designed to stimulate critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity in students. Make Advocate Publishing your preferred choice for all your educational needs. Explore our range of textbooks and educational resources. Visit us at the old GNTC yard near Kingsway, Accra. You can contact us on 0503 786 776 or 02408 06354, also 0531 600360, and connect with us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Advo Publishing. Don't settle for less. Choose the best. Advocate Publishing Company, empowering young minds one textbook at a time. Thinking publishing, think Advocate Publishing.
Ebusiafo ye mama kwaba eba Children's Palace. Nkwala nyema nyina fie enyi. nkwala ntade money mema nyina ntare nyina wase yonkwala shoes yonkwala duane yonkwala wipes nkwala diapers nkwala toys baby cot in fact bibia opama omanyina obenye bi wase.
Located at East Legon Hills, Nana Chrome KFC. Contact us on 059-6377-172. Children's Palace. Happy children, happy fashion. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson,
me didn't tum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain Mosquito, double the accent. Me didn't sasso spray. Mr. Friendly sasso quell. Yeah, go to my sasso.
Tum preko.
Tucked between the vibrant energy of Accra and the scenic charm of the Kwabena Hills, our gated community offers the perfect blend of tranquility and accessibility. Welcome to Rehoboth Knightsbridge, where nature meets opportunity. Secure your future with fully serviced plots with well-tarred roads, reliable drainage systems, electricity and water. Build your dream home in a community that cares for your well-being and safety. Indulge in premium amenities that redefine luxury living: a swimming pool, tennis court, basketball court, sauna and steam in the iconic shopping mall, all within reach. It's more than just a space. It's your sanctuary in the city. Wake up to mountain views, take a jog under palm-lined paths, and experience the perfect balance of city access and natural beauty. Starting at just 450,000 cedis with flexible payment plans. Visit www.rehobothpropertiesgh.com or call or WhatsApp 024-476-4499 or 020-495-0810. Rehoboth Properties, quality housing for all.
And his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be late, of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Copy from Georgia be luckiest. From Natebia cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
God Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it with a so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Hey! Is that his car? Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the rest.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
You are the one. Featuring Alejandra Robles Gil, Brandon Peniche, Danilo Carrera, Bárbara Islas, Ernesto LaGuardia, and a great cast.
So you're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television. My guests are here, and it's Dade of the MPP's communications team, and also a lawyer and one of the communicators of the NDC. I'm talking about Hamza Suhini. Both of them are here. So there's something I want to say briefly because we want to move on to our next topic.
Oh, all I wanted to say is that, you know, in my earlier submission, I tried as much as possible to toe the middle line. And Hamza decided to take it.
Why? Have you regretted?
Extreme. Oh, I haven't. Okay. I haven't. It's my style of communicating anyway. But you see, our relationship with Japan is not going to start with President Mahama coming back or his previous opportunity to lead this country. We've worked with them, and His Excellency John Akufo-Addo's era. You saw Toyota come here, you saw Nissan come here. These are some of the biggest companies that Japan has. And we were able to get them to invest directly into this country. So trying to paint the picture that something extraordinary or something else has happened and that's why we are able to go to Japan or we are talking to the Singaporeans was not a non-issue. It was a non-issue because they are already here. Okay. And you heard His Excellency John Dramani Mahama speak that he is appealing to the Japanese to expand their operations here. But what is notable about this comment is that when we were trying to bring these companies into Ghana here, the people who spoke against it, the people who tried to fight it, even in Parliament, because we had to give them certain advantages, certain things for them to be able to move their companies in here. And the people who fought it are my brother Hamza's people. You remember where they were talking, we were talking about putting in certain laws and taking certain taxes and giving it to them so that they can come here. The country that we have always boasted that we don't even produce a toothpick is now having to come and assemble and manufacture these parts here in Ghana for their #1 vehicles, both Toyota and Nissan. They fought it. They actually fought it to the extent that I was on the show. I don't know whether here or somewhere else where they were raising issues that we were going to kill businesses for the Bosokai people and all that when we were saying that these people should be given some tax havens and all that for them to be able to work. So I'm surprised that Hamza tried to just promote the idea that what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing is a novelty. It's not. It's not. Even the previous time, in his previous government, he went to them to appeal for the resources, the money that we used for the Tema interchange, right? And it didn't happen this time. It happened, the money and everything came in His Excellency Akufo-Addo's time, and the interchange was built. It was supported by the same
But I didn't get that impression when Hamza was speaking that this was
No, the picture painted is that Akufo-Addo's regime was the messy one.
Okay.
And this was going to be something extraordinary. And that is why I wrote this thing I'm talking about. Look, he veered into the money, the debt situation. They tried to tell the people of Ghana that the debt situation under us was terrible. When you move the debt from 8 billion, when President Kufuor virtually technically added only 1 billion from the 7 to the 8 billion, and you took it from 8 billion to 126 billion. You remember we were on this show, and I was talking about the percentage increase. Check the percentage increase, Hamza, and you realize that what you are saying, the MPP increased. I am not supporting it. I am against we just taking loans to do everything. That was the submission I made earlier. But to try and just oppose how you did, because you are trying to say the Akufo-Addo regime was worse. When before you left, you took us to the IMF. Before Akufo-Addo left, you took us to the IMF. But list the projects that Akufo-Addo did in his era. Compare it to what His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Advertisements during the era. I want to have that debate. Okay, but now, you see what I wrote here? I wrote here that we have moved from the campaign era, where I was arguing that if you didn't sign, take or pay, we wouldn't be in that heavy debt. If you didn't sign the energy sector more than we needed at the time, we wouldn't have been incurring that debt that led us to where we were. We have moved on. I have personally moved on. I'm no more communicating that. Because now you are in power. Your responsibility is to ensure that my light is on, as His Excellency Akufo-Addo did in 8 years. For 8 years, our light was on. So make sure our light is on. And I am fine. Because, look, we have companies. Yesterday, I was privileged to visit some companies of the Honorable Kennedy Ejapon. He has a steel factory that is almost ready that he doesn't have energy for. It's ready. If you see the investment, massive investment. I was shocked when I saw the investment. There's no energy to run it. And our people need jobs. And we are importing these things and our dollar is affected. You are managing the dollar. I'm coming to the dollar situation. Look, they are creating what happened before the Rawlings era came. That's what they are creating. You tell us it's 10 point what? I go online, I check, it's 11 point something. You want it 11 from the bank, you won't get, so you will go to Abochi and buy it for 12 point something. Do you know what this one does? You are forcing people that they should reduce prices because dollar is 10 point something, as you are claiming. When the person is getting it at 12 to go and make his import, and you are saying dollar is 10, so you should sell it at 10, can he sell it? Do you know what you are creating? Kalabuli. Because if I have the thing at 12 cedis per dollar, and you are saying it is 10 cedis per dollar, so I should reduce it, I will go and hide it. And it's only the person who is ready to pay the 12 cedis per dollar who will get the product. That's the problem we used to have. But now, Ghana's knowledge level has increased beyond we making the mistakes we made in the 70s and the 80s. So why are you doing that to the country? You have taken over a country that had more projects done than ever anybody, any government had attempted. 111 hospitals at a go. And you said nothing happened. And you have stopped it. You have stopped it. And all these massive projects that Akufo-Addo was investing in, and you come and say nothing happened. But you are enjoying the fruit of his labor. If he didn't go, you see, we are enjoying part of the dollar today. Because Akufo-Addo administration made certain strong decisions. Decision number one, yes, at a point in time, I don't want to go to the IMF. But we have gotten to the point where if we go to the IMF, it will support the dollar. So by the time you came, that decision to go to the IMF to support, the CD, had been made. And you will enjoy the money when it comes. You take it. The decision to do the DDEP, which was unpopular and everybody is speaking against it now, started stabilizing the economy before you took office. So by the time you took office, he has taken the punch. You are enjoying the labor.
Do I get the impression that you're happy that you took Ghana to the IMF?
Okay. It's difficult for me to answer, so I'll ask Hamza. Are you proud that you took Ghana to the IMF?
No, I'm asking you this question because of what you said earlier about they reaping the fruits of the IMF program that we signed up to.
Of the program that was set up before them.
So that's what I'm saying, that because your critics have also asked the question, did we even have to go to IMF in the first place? If we had gotten our internal, economic issues right.
I agree with you. If we got it right, if the decisions we made earlier were right, we might not have gone to the IMF. Because you heard the president himself, you heard the finance minister say we will not go to the IMF. So it's not a popular decision. It's not something that anybody is proud of. You had to go as low as DDEP. It wasn't something you were proud of. But at the time that the decisions were made, for me, if we didn't make that decision, we would have ended up like some other countries. They would have inherited something worse. So somebody took the fall for you to leave.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is that the impressions he tried to create with his presentation, in fact, was completely opposite what I was trying to do. That as a country, let's begin to make a decision that we will build our country not on credit, not on loans alone, but also build our infrastructure locally to be able to accommodate it. Let's go into tourism. We have the president himself has spoken about agriculture, the northern part. That one I know he stole from His Excellency the Honorable Honorable Kennedy Ejapon is always saying the North could be the food basket of the country, and therefore we should. So he came and he said, I'll go into agriculture.
Okay.
Good, very good one. Japan has technology that will help us go into agriculture. The kind of partnership, the kind of foreign direct investment that we need in the agriculture sector, why don't we exploit it? This is the conversation I am expecting from Hamza.
All right.
And not to take a swipe at the previous government who has been voted out anyway, and you are supposed to be in here doing these conversations that we are having.
Well, you know the thing about this show is that every guest is entitled to analyze the issues the way they want to analyze it. So if he has analyzed it in ways that makes you feel like he's taking
if you take a swipe, you will force me to defend.
Because I started with you, and you, like you said, wanted to toe the nationalistic line, as you said, but he decides to take a dig at the previous administration, some of the decisions that they took. So that's how he wants to,
even to make
analyze it. Yeah, please go ahead.
You see, my submission was equally nationalistic. There's nothing wrong with me going back into history and trying to print a picture of where we are coming from to put the president's trips in perspective. Absolutely nothing. It is still nationalistic in character. And so my presentation was not partisan. And if there were certain policies I considered improper under the SWA regime, and I bring it up and I say so, it is simply because I'm a citizen of the Republic of Ghana, and I think that I have the right to want to point out some of the policies that were not accurate and what this current government is doing to reverse the trend. And that was what I did. Nothing more, nothing less. But you see, listening to him, clearly, the MPP is still struggling to grasp the reasons behind their defeat. You sit on this platform, Ernest, and argue that the government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia led in terms of infrastructure development in this country, and that their record is unprecedented. Are you kidding me? You are comparing.
We can go head to head.
You are comparing this incompetent regime, reckless, corruption.
No, go head to head.
Please, I'm coming. I'll go there.
Understand.
Corruption ridden to the governments we have had in the past. We are talking about a government that decided unethically to sink in excess of $70 million under the guise of building a cathedral. We are talking about a government that decided to pull down houses that we're using to house.
Moro Cathedral.
No, please keep quiet.
I'll
listen to you. I'll listen to you.
Ernest,
don't spoil the show. You see, when you were speaking, I have Ernest. When you were speaking, I could have intervened. You see how discomforting it is. But be patient and take it. Be patient and take it. You are talking about a government, a reckless regime that presided over the destruction of judges' bungalows, only to dig a pit and pursue what they know best: corruption. Infrastructure that a different regime had built to house our judges, and you are referring to them as unprecedented when it comes to their infrastructure development. You are talking about a government that carelessly decided to launch Agenda 111 without any idea as to how to fund those projects. And as we speak today, have they been able to complete them before they left office? They gave us a timeline of 9 months, not so. Change it to 1 year. What is the state of that particular facility? And the first responsible thing His Excellency President Mahama did upon assumption of office was to take stock of developments within that sector and gave the entire nation an idea about in excess of 6 billion what was required to be able to complete those projects. And that's why he invited private sector to participate or to partner with government in our quest to at least deliver those projects. What are you talking about? Infrastructure, and you are bringing Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
So I thought you were going
into the infrastructure
head to head.
You see,
Hamza,
we are talking about a government. Please, don't do this. We are talking about a government that presided over the construction of the Ghana UG Medical Center. We are talking about a government that is the legacy of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. We are talking about the SNIT and Bank Hospital. That's the legacy of President John Dramani Mahama. We are talking about in excess of 126 cheap compounds under His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama. We are talking about even the circle interchange we are talking about in terms of road infrastructure. That this country, remember that prior to the 2016 election, what was His Excellency President Mahama called? Moro, the infrastructure king. Was he not being referred to as the infrastructure king in this country? So when we are talking about infrastructure track record, don't bring this government that decided to take this country for granted for the last 8 years, only to leave us an unpardonable mess. You made reference to take and pay. You see, another foresight of a government that you guys fail to appreciate. What we're living off is, apart from the investments His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama made in the energy sector, Moro, remember that he also gave them ESLA. When in their office, when they were in office, ESLA generated in excess of about 40 billion. They left us a debt overhang in the energy sector in excess of 70 billion Ghana cedis.
It's the same.
Please.
It's the same.
I can understand that my submissions are discomforting.
No. There's nothing.
But be patient. You see, that's I was quiet as if I was not part of the show. And I allowed to go. I knew. Please focus. I was pretty much. I knew that where I was coming from. I'm coming from a record that I can defend.
Please focus. Yes.
So, Moro, when we make references to your record, it is because it is a record the good people of this country, they themselves abhor. It is an appalling one. It is a record of failure. It is a record of corruption. It is a record of recklessness. And so, and you see, these effects were not just limited to the shores of Ghana. It went international. It is the reason why we lost that credibility to become effective players as far as the access to international capital markets were concerned. You were unable to pay our foreign debts. You subjected this country to the domestic debt exchange program and the cost implications on us. We are talking about a regime that told our external debtors in the phase that we are unable to pay your debts. You dilly-dallied with the integrity of this country for 8 good years. That is your record. That is your record. That's the stinking record you left this country with. And so I made the point that though President Mahama's trips abroad may not be unique, because many other presidents have embarked on these trips, but you need to understand the context of his engagements as far as this particular outreach is concerned. And I gave the basis. Because there's the need for us to work to bring back that credibility to the Republic of Ghana. You guys were interested in lining your pockets. Really? This is a government that is responding daily to the average need of the Ghanaian.
Okay.
And we will continue to do so.
All right.
But when it comes to infrastructure, never say it anywhere again, Ernest.
All right.
Because the NPP would be found bankrupt as far as that debate is concerned. Okay. Your record in it is actually to destroy existing infrastructure, not build.
All right.
And that is why you are unable to even identify a credible source of funding for your Agenda 111. You decided to recklessly bandy through about.
This
for political expedience.
Must be dealt with.
No, it's okay. It's not new. You guys are going to go back and forth. You've done twice. I beg you.
Okay,
once you talk, he'll be forced to come back.
I'll take the time from the other topic.
Oh, no, we're done. It's not new. And so far, it's not new. No, it's not new.
We will deal with
otherwise, no. You see, let's. Our viewers also want some variety. We can't stay on one topic for 3 hours. I mean, that's boring. I beg.
This is even something we have gone over.
I beg you. It's not new. I mean, this comprising of records. Every time happens, and
I thought
it's not going to be. It's not going to be first in the
during the campaign. Hamza is still campaigning anyway.
So I want us to.
I guess hoping that Ghanaians have forgotten. I want us forget your record, but no, I
want us to end this conversation here and look at our next topic. So let's watch these 2 videos, and then we'll come back and talk. Oh, all right. So it's all right. So let's watch these videos.
MPP vote kusasi. Winning MPP vote President Kufuor winning MPP vote kusasi. Winning MPP vote and this sense of quality conform you.
As we prepare to go into the primaries, I am very, very concerned and troubled that some of our presidential aspirants have embarked on a religious and tribal bigotry and propaganda against me in a desperate attempt to win votes. They totally ignore all the data and findings about why we lost the 2024 elections and want to mislead the delegates and the party with such propaganda. The one such issue that has come up, and I think is important for all of us to know, is the Mamprosi-Kusasi conflict. An aspirant has said that delegates should not vote for me because I am a Mamprosi man, and that we will lose votes in the Kusasi areas and other areas. This is very unfortunate and demonstrates a complete lack of understanding of the situation on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, since 1965, there have been 11 elections in Ghana. Since 1965. And the performance of the LPP in the 6, our tradition, in the 6 Boku zone seats, there are 6 seats in the Boku zone. If you look at it, the performance is as follows. In 1965, our tradition had 0 seats. At that time, I was only 2 years old. I had nothing to do with it. In 1969, we had 2 seats. In 1979, under the Tosu's leadership, we had 0 seats. In 1996, we had 0 seats in that area. In 2000, we had 1 seat. In 2004, under President Ford, we had 0 seats. 2008, we had 1 seat. 2012, under President Akufo-Addo, we had 0 seats. 2016, we had 2 seats. 2020, we had 1 seat. And 2024, we went back to 0 seats. What all the data is saying is that out of the 6 seats in the MPP, out of the 6 seats, the 11 elections, MPP has 0 in 6 of the 11 elections. So this is not an area that is a stronghold of the MPP. If I took the whole Boku zone, the 6 constituencies put together, we lost just 30,000 votes in 2024. So you can't lose, it is not the Boku election that made us lose 2024. And we need to be very clear about that the data shows that the Boku factor was not a factor in the outcome of the 2024 elections, that we should stop moving in that direction.
Second is to deal with that issue of tribal bigotry. Which tribal bigotry I do not know anything about. Facts are sacred, comments are free. If I meet with senior party officers or party officials across board, we should be able to have a frank indoor conversation. Some things we should be able to talk about amongst ourselves. It will not go out. And when we go out, we agree on what we present to the general public. It cannot be that if we are frank with ourselves internally, it is misconstrued as something else. I have not made any tribal comments, statements of any nature anywhere in this country. I have said that the data is obvious. There is an MPP problem and there's a candidate problem. And the candidate problem is unique and it affected us. The MPP problem we may be able to overcome in 3 years. We need to see if we can overcome the candidate problem in 3 years. And if we cannot overcome the candidate problem within 3 years, then the decision is ours. This is something, a conversation that we have internally with party people. And when you have these conversations, they are not tribal comments. Indeed, MPP, sometimes we make certain decisions. I remember when I was the chief of staff to the then chairman, Jacob Echebi Lamte, decisions were made for Greater Accra that if you are not a GA, there are certain things, constituencies we will not allow you to contest. You cannot come and say you are John Mensah from Kum Ashanti and the MPP will allow you to contest Ododo. Clote Colley, we have a constituency chairperson, is even an Akan, but for parliamentary, the party will not allow you. I think we have about 5 constituencies, about 5 or so constituencies that the party took a decision that if you are not a GA, we will not allow you to contest those. It didn't mean that the MPP was a tribalistic party. We went into an election where I supported the whole idea that if we bring Dr. Baumia, we will get the votes from the north. That if we bring Dr. Baumia, we will get the vote from the Zongos. He told me I believed him. He told the whole party we believed him. Indeed, in the general election, he told the whole country, except that they didn't believe that. And so when we come back to the drawing table, we evaluate those statements, the promises. You promised us that when we bring you, you bring the Zongos. The data shows that the Zongos did not come. You promised us that when we vote for you, you will give us the north is. These are your own words. It was fine then. You can imagine if I was a candidate and I had said anywhere that because I am the candidate, we will get the Akan vote and we will get the Muslim vote, I would have been crucified. It's not possible for me to say that. But it was said. It was said then. It was not, nobody took it out of term, out of context. Nobody accused anybody of being tribal. The statements that I made were facts that I was sharing with party people. It is only those who want to do propaganda that are out to town on it. I have no problem at all with it. This is a political season. Things that are said clearly will be twisted, and I understand that is part of the game. This is what we call the post-truth era, and I understand it.
Well, so you saw that back and forth, what I'll call statements by the contenders of the MPP's standard bearer race. That's Dr. Brani Champon, who is a former Greek minister, a former Deputy National Security Coordinator, and also MP for, is that Betifi, I believe? Yes, MP for Betifi. Yes, and stating why, or justifying an earlier comment he made about why he believed that the former vice president and standard bearer of the MPP in the 2024 elections, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, did not do well in the upper east and generally the northern regions of this country. Now remember that Dr. Bawumia's campaign has come out to dismiss a lot of the things that he said. In fact, we heard Dr. Bawumia himself dismissing what Dr. Brani Champon has said and describing it as tribal and religious bigotry that Dr. Brani Champon is engaged in. So it has been back and forth. So Brian said it, Dr. Bawumia spoke, and Brian has come back to legitimize, validate, and to justify the earlier comments that he made. Now, So what's happening? Why is this ethnic or tribal and religious issues rearing its ugly head again in the NPP? Was Dr. Manichampo misquoted or misunderstood, or indeed he misspoke? That's for me is the question I would be seeking some answers to. He's misspoken, and so must be condemned for that. Ernest, you are MPP, in fact, died in the womb, and you understand your politics perhaps much better than all of us. Help us appreciate what's happening in your own political party. Why is this Baumia's tribe and religion? You know, why? What's happening? Why is it coming up again?
Yeah, Moro. This not too comfortable a conversation to have.
Okay.
But I'll address it straight.
Why is it uncomfortable in the first place?
You know, when it comes to the flag bearership of the MPP, for that matter, MPP's internal politics, it's always very, very aggressive, very strong, and it brings up a lot of things. So sometimes we within the MPP, we say that sometimes we take too much, we put in so much effort when we are having our internal elections. And then when it comes to having to go and face Hamza and his people, then we go soft. But I don't see the tribal bigotry in the statement the Honorable Brian Champon made. The only reason why, I'm being factual, the only reason why I don't see the tribal bigotry is that, like Brian said in his response, a lot of these statements were made in the last primaries. The last primaries when they were all campaigning. In fact, that time, Brian was not a candidate. It was Kennedy Ejapong and His Excellency Bawumia and some others, and not Brian. And that time, Brian, I think, leaned more towards His Excellency Bawumia than Kennedy. So he was part of the team that went round to campaign. In fact, I think Brian took the Eastern region and handled it properly for the candidates. And for that matter, a lot of the things he is saying, I want to believe he's saying them firsthand. They campaigned, and the campaign was that, and a lot of us had that feeling too, including me. I had the feeling that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia will do better in the Zongo communities because they will see him as one of their own in the Muslim communities that the NDC had dominated over the years. They've dominated. We cannot run away from that. It's a fact that we have more of the Zongo community and the Muslim community leaning towards the NDC than the MPP. It doesn't mean we don't have them. We have a lot, so many Muslims and in the MPP, but they have a little more than we have. And they've almost always won a lot of the Zongos and a lot of the Muslim communities than we have won over the years. It's a fact. So in campaigning, these issues were raised. And a lot of us had the feeling that, yes, because he is a Muslim. I personally was on shows also saying the same thing, that because he is a Muslim. And I quoted, I think on one of your shows, I think on the Saturday show, I quoted one imam in Kumasi, in the Ashanti region somewhere, I've forgotten where exactly, who said that for the first time he saw the Quran raised into the sky, and His Excellency Bawumia was sworn in as Vice President, and he wouldn't want the Quran that was raised to come down. That was the statement. It was one of the, I think, an imam or one of the very senior people in the region. And he wouldn't want to see the Quran come down. So he was also calling on the Muslims to join, because a Muslim was going against a Christian, and he is a Muslim, and he said he wants the Muslims to win. So we all had expectation, including me. I had a lot of expectation that the Islamic community were going to lean towards the MPP because they were with us. It's a fact. It wasn't tribal bigotry or religious intolerance or anyhow you will put it. I just had the feeling that I'm your brother, join me. But unfortunately, the 2024 election didn't show it. So I want to believe that in Ghana we should be factual. We should just learn to embrace the truth. This is the truth. My face is black. I want to be a white man, so I may want to go and buy some bleaching cream. Then it's a fact. So it's a fact that these issues, these statements were made. I have seen videos that people are circulating now that this issue had come up, where His Excellency, the former Vice President himself, has made statements in that direction. And somebody was asking me, so when he was making those statements, was he being a tribal bigot, or was he being religiously intolerant? I don't believe so. I believe he was making factual statements to get votes for himself, and that is the reason why we go out to campaign. I just feel that whatever this is generating, we have seen the facts. This is what he said. This is what Brian is saying. If anybody would want to base his vote for His Excellency Bawumia or Brian on this, that's the person's issue. But let's state the facts first. And after we have stated the facts, then we find the solution. I have said consistent that I love the MPP. Like you said, I have worked for the MPP for years. I have done all that a human being could do for the MPP. And I want to see the MPP back in power. I want us to make inroads. I have the feeling that if we do the right things, the 2.1 million people who sat back and didn't come to vote may come to vote, so that we wouldn't have to work extra to be able to unseat Hamza and his boss. And if the 2.1 million people come back, they are our sympathizers. During the last election, we heard things. We were campaigning, and we heard that our sympathizers had a different feeling. And it's a fact that people did not go to the polls because they may have their own reasons. But one of the reasons is that they felt the MPP government was in power. But let me say this in truth.
It was a failure.
No, not a failure.
They
believed that our government was in power, and NDC people, when it came to sharing money during COVID, NDC people had it. And somebody was telling me that when we had to go and apply for work, they said we should go and do digital. When we want to go and campaign, you didn't tell us to go and campaign digital. Now the work has come, and you told us to go online. People had their own reasons why they didn't go to vote. They're angry. I drove to a friend's house and said, let's go and vote. At 4 thereabout. The guy said he won't go. This is an MPP hardcore. I told the wife, leave him and let's go. He told the wife, okay, sound him, Mr. Dadefio. You know, Mr. Dade's house, there are so many rooms. So if you finish voting, you follow him, I'll bring your bag. So he didn't vote. He insisted his wife shouldn't go and vote. Because of what?
So the point is there was apathy.
The point is, issues happened that made the MPP unpopular.
Yes.
And we cannot take His Excellency Bawumia out here now.
But here's the issue. Let me ask you this, Ernest. Your party lost elections. And your party decided to commission a report or some investigations into why you lost the elections. So you decide to appoint Professor Michael Kwe, the former Speaker of Parliament, to preside over these investigations. Never mind the criticisms that greeted it. The Professor Michael Kwe then finishes or completes his report and hands it over to whoever they're supposed to hand the thing over to. And I'm told it's the General Secretary. Doesn't that report state exactly why the party lost the elections? Why are people still stating their own opinions and making it look like it's a fact? When indeed a more scientific work has been done, which is to say that these are the reasons why your party lost the elections. Your party's leadership are fully aware. So there's data. So for any why are we supposed to take somebody's opinion hook, line, and sinker? I.e., why must it be a fact when indeed the facts are contained in a certain report. Why?
Bro, there is one fact. Politics is a game of interest.
Okay.
So, whatever will follow, will follow. But the truth is, as I sit here...
First of all, have you seen the report?
I haven't seen the report. And the report is not meant for me. It's not meant for you. It's meant for the leadership of the party to make decisions and at least be able to implement those things that will help the party's fortune. And I am saying that, look, Alan and team got angry. In fact, it's a fact that a lot of the Alan boys now are more NDC than MPP. It's a fact. You know, we were discussing it the last time. Don't make your face like that. It's a fact. We want to bring them back. I want them to come back. We have issues, Kwabena issues, Afoko issues, we have some issues. If the factors that made these people sit back and their families sit back and their friends sit back and all that, if these factors are still there, we cannot convince them to come back. But I want that 2.1 million vote to come back first. Whatever number will come back should come back first. Then we will add more. It makes our work easier. If we maintain certain levels of whatever sent those people out, bringing them back will be more difficult. The last time we were discussing the moratorium, right? And if the moratorium is saying that all those people who were suspended, who were this, should go back, what caused the suspension? Somebody feels he was wrongly suspended. And if he was wrongly suspended, what was the cause? So let us rather address those things. As for me, that is my position. And I am saying that. I'm being sincere. And I'm saying that but if we don't eliminate, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result.
So are you saying that you are very clear in your mind from where you sit who you think that unifying factor is?
I think so. I seriously believe that there's something we must do now to save the party first. If we finish saving the party, look, when the NDC under His Excellency Atta Mills, you were in this country, Hamza was here. His Excellency Atta Mills was not as strong a candidate as then we had Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And we were laughing at them that, oh, they don't have message, they don't have a message. So they have to create a message and sell their candidate. They say Akufo-Addo is what? Is the rowdy type. And then they say Atta Mills is a peaceful man.
Let me do this.
All I am saying is that, let me land on
the
this.
people who left, did they leave because of an individual, or they left because of some party decisions?
Certain systemic decisions
were not happy about.
They were not happy about.
So when you say the status quo must change,
if the status quo remains, and a lot of the 2.1 million people we are talking about now, if those 2.1 million people still feel that the factors that led to that quick movement still remain, would they come? Yes, some will come. Some for the love of the party. Some may not come.
Okay.
That is why some of us are saying, let us look at those factors again properly. Leadership should come out and tell us what exactly the factors are. So this Brian statement, let me focus on the Brian statement. This Brian statement, I believe we ourselves created it. His Excellency, the former Vice President, said those things. So Brian took him.
But let me ask you.
So let's remain with Brian.
Let me ask you.
Brian had said it.
Let me ask you my final question before I come back to Hamza. You heard Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia talk about the fact that from 65, the MPP has never done well in the upper regions. Upper West, Upper East. And he only mentions, I believe, 2000 or 2004 when he got only one seat. Since then, it's been 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Now, for somebody to say that the reason why the MPP did not perform well in the upper regions, okay, and in some parts of the Northeast, of course, that's the northern region, was because of a candidate. Now, the context here is that he is telling the people who he's interacting with why they should vote for him and not Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Isn't he in essence saying that when you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, some groups of people will not vote for us?
But when you vote for me, those groups of people will vote for us. But what is the scientific basis for arriving at that conclusion, especially when the data is clear? From 1965, you have never done well in those regions anyway. So how is that a Bawumia problem? That's what, a viewer wants to know, or that's what I want to know.
For the first time in the history of the MPP, we have 5 regions. We have zero representation for the first time.
Okay.
Secondly, for the first time, we are looking at polling stations, electoral areas, and things that we hit zero completely. Sometimes we will have our few, but we have a situation where our people, I was telling you that the truth about this is, it's not because our people didn't go out to vote alone, but some of them were not even allowed to register. So it's not His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia alone who had zeros.
Right. His
Excellency John Dramani Mahama has zeros in some of them. Because this group did not allow their people to, the other side, the Kusasi areas, did not allow the Mamprisi people to register, let alone come and vote. And vice versa. So it happened in the other side too. So there are zeros here and there are zeros here. So that one, you can't blame only the candidate. His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia alone. But what I'm saying is, our biggest problem is not the votes we had and not the seats. In the Volta region, we have been doing our 1, 2 and all that. Now we split 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, like His Excellency, the former Vice President, alluded to. In some of the northern regions, he has alluded to it. It's not only the northern regions and constituencies that we did that. In the Volta region, it has always been 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0. And all that. So the truth is what His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said, that we have not done well in certain areas. But for the first time, certain things happened that we never expected. So let's go and work on it as a party. But as for the candidates and what they are saying, I still say His Excellency Brian Echampong said, the Honorable Brian Echampong said what everybody knows on the ground, and I know Hamza knows that is the fact. And so we cannot just ban him for that. What I will advise, what I will advise
He's a Brian person.
So I spoke for Kennedy Japan, I spoke for Brian, and I have said things.
But who are you supporting?
I have spoken, you should know who I'm supporting.
I don't know, tell us.
Okay, I'll tell you when we go.
Supporting
but everybody listening to me.
How's that mischief?
As for me, let me tell him that I will tell you. As for me, any of our candidates who come, you know how I campaigned for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, but these are the facts on the ground I am putting down.
So you are not supporting the candidate?
I personally, as I sit here, I will wish His Excellency the Honorable Kennedy Ohinia Japan comes, and some of these factors that we have just outlined are eliminated. We may have problems with it.
So you've heard it for the first time. It's being stated publicly. Ernest Adade.
I know that's all Moro is waiting for.
Declare support for Honorable Kennedy.
I think so. Okay.
It's important.
The fact here is that yesterday, I went round and saw the work. I want Hamza to go and see. He will vote for that man.
Who?
If he becomes power.
Who?
Hamza. He will vote for Kennedy. For the first time, I went round and saw the work, the handiwork of that man, and I was shocked at the work of an individual in this country. I was surprised.
He's a dangerous threat to Ghana's democratic stability.
Why do you think so?
That gentleman.
That is what you think.
Because he's the #1 threat to Ghana's democratic stability.
Tell me. Give me.
I'll give you reasons.
Give me.
Moro.
This is all Moro has been waiting for years.
Public declaration.
Moro, you see.
Yes, my brother.
First of all, I ordinarily wouldn't have commented on this issue.
Right.
But because of the linkages it has with our democratic stability.
Right.
Because whichever way we look at it, the New Patriotic Party is an entity that is protected under the laws of the Republic of Ghana, and it is an important player when it comes to our democratic space. But in truth, let me introduce this caveat, because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is a big brother. And so sometimes it is difficult for us to go all out against him like he did to his own big brother, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And that is the difference between those of us in the National Democratic Congress and our brothers in the NPP. We understand where politics ends, and we understand where family ties begin. And we uphold these things dearly. Unfortunately, if you look at the political life of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, from 2008 onwards, he failed to discharge that onerous responsibility of giving credence to your culture where that credence is necessary and pursuing your own political ambitions in a way that does not create a conflict of the two. He failed that test. So I'll try in my submission not to come out in a similar fashion. I'll do well. I'll try. You see, I condemn outrightly the utterances of Honorable Brian Achampong. You may be engaged in an intellectual discourse, but when it comes more to politicians, we must be mindful of the audience we are speaking to. It's very important. It's very, very important. You may consider that exercise as an intellectual one, but the audience you are dealing with may approach it differently. And that is why issues of religion and tribe appear sensitive in our political discourse, especially coming from leaders like them. You will never know the misinterpretation that is likely to characterize such statements. And for me, he should have exercised caution. These are discussions you can have behind closed doors amongst party elders. But when it comes to issues of tribe and religion, you need to be extremely careful. Because if you are not careful, you are not only going to divide the NPP, but all of us are likely to leave the effects of such division because it may go beyond the boundaries of the New Patriotic Party. And so that is the reason why I am condemning his choice of words and also the venue he decided to make these statements. But Moro, then again, it brings us back to the question, can we blame the Honorable Brian Achampong? Can we blame him? Can we truly blame him? We all saw the politics of the late Alhaji Aliyu Mahama when he was nominated as running mate to His Excellency John Ajekum Kufuor. Ali Mahama did not go on a religious or tribal tangent as far as the 2000 campaigns were concerned. He discharged himself creditable as a statesman. And at the back of that, the New Patriotic Party won the elections with Ali Mahama as running mate, as sitting vice president subsequently. Indeed, we never heard about analogy between the Holy Quran and the Holy Bible at the time Ali Mahama was vice president. That language found its way into our democratic space when Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was first nominated as running mate to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Is that not a fact? Where he said that there was a need for those of us in the Muslim communities to give him our mandate so that the Holy Quran would also be represented at the Jubilee House. These were the words of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And those of us in the National Democratic Congress then raised the alarm bells. We said, look, this is a dangerous path to tread on. And there's a reason why majority of Muslims in Ghana identify with the National Democratic Congress. Because when it comes to religious politics, I can say with all strength within me, Moro, that Muslims have so far discharged themselves creditably well, and their choices are not hinged on religious considerations. If we were going to be following religious considerations, you know how our voting pattern would have been. But unfortunately, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia introduced that vocabulary into our democratic space. And those of us in the NDC cautioned against it. He did not listen to us. Fast forward, after they won the 2016 general elections, he did not stop these comparisons. Indeed, there's a video, I'm told it has been forwarded to you, where in United States of America, he made a section of the Ghanaian Muslim community and were telling them to vote for him because he's a Muslim so that he could effectively represent Islam at the Jubilee House. Dangerous remarks.
But Hamza, is there anything wrong with identity politics?
Look, you see, ordinarily there shouldn't be anything wrong with it. But when the same politics is being played, because these were the comments of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Right.
But in our context, the kind of identity politics we are talking about is one that can create instability.
Right.
Because that is why I emphasize the need for us to concentrate on the audience. Now, these were your comments. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia went to, in the just ended election, in Dakwa. He went to the Yana and said that we should vote for we should consider voting for him because he is a son, Moli Dagumba's son. Trying to annihilate His Excellency John Dramani Mahama from the northern region. You understand the point I'm making? That kind of dangerous identity politics was being done by His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We raised issues with it. They did not listen to us. So if you went to the same delegates within the New Patriotic Party and you assured them that you have what it takes to bring Muslims and Northerners onto the New Patriotic Party if they give you their mandate, and they actually proceed to give you their mandate and you are unable to do that, the likes of Honorable Brian Achampong are clothed with the democratic right to question why you failed in that promise. And if they do so, they are not wrong. And that's why I have an issue only with the audience where he chose to engage in that intellectual discourse. Because these were the promises His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia made. And any watcher of our political space would be interested in actually ascertaining whether indeed he lived up to that expectation or not. Today, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is giving us a history of the voting pattern of those in the northern region. Why, in his estimation, is he trying to tell us that he didn't know why the MPP elect chose him as running mate? So if the MPP since 1965 realized that this was the challenge they had as far as the northern zones are concerned and decided to come for you, what did you do to close that gap? The party is clothed with the democratic right to ask what you brought on board as far as resolving that crisis is concerned. So it is incompetence for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to seek to justify his inability to penetrate by seeking to hide in history that it was so in the past. So what new thing is he bringing on board? These are the questions we should be asking.
Perhaps he's suggesting that there's a much deeper problem
so he should
why the MPP is struggling to attract votes.
And he was the leader of the New Patriotic Party in the last election model. So what did he do to resolve that deeper problem? The MPP delegates are right to ask these questions. Are they not? Because they gave him their mandate. And you see, I think that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ought to learn from this painful experience that he's going through now. This is not the first time his words are coming back to haunt him. Remember between 2012 and 2016, the kind of promises he made. One district, one dam, $1 million per constituency. The city has been arrested. The dollar has been arrested, the key given to the IGP and is thrown away. This is not the first time his words are coming back to haunt him. So I think that he needs to go back to the drawing board and engage those who have been in that space for years, especially the political space, and learn the rudiments of political communication because it is important for his own political future. From where I sit, Moro, I still believe with every fiber of strength within me that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is better than those gunning for leadership within the New Patriotic Party today, in all honesty. Because I am concerned about the democratic stability of this republic. And many of these faces who are going around under the guise of campaigning to be NPP flag bearers like I indicated earlier, constitute a threat to our democratic stability.
I'll tell you
so,
why.
But I do not believe.
I want you to tell me why you think they constitute a threat. So do me a favor. You know you are the only one who can do me this favor, right? We need to take just 30 seconds break. And then you come and tell me why they are a threat to our democracy. Okay. So that's what I was saying. Please stay with us. This is Good Morning Ghana.
MGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need assistance in exporting your products to international markets, we got you covered. General trading is at the heart of our expertise. We specialize in a wide range of products, catering to various industries and markets. As a trusted dealership in building materials, we provide high-quality products that meet the demands of our construction projects. Additionally, we act as manufacturers' representatives, connecting producers with distributors. Our expertise in logistics is the backbone of our operations. We plan and execute transportation and delivery of goods, ensuring they reach their destination on time and in optimal condition. MGO Logistics and Supply, guaranteed satisfaction.
In my line of work, a confident smile is everything. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste keeps me on top of my game and ensures my smile is always radiant and bright.
With the tiring nature of my job, we spend several hours under the scorching sun. To keep our teeth white and our breath fresh all the time, we use none other than Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. You're on a Kessie and in a kit one.
Samayo Kendini, a who be here, some make us a papadia to a mammy man for. Kale Charcoal's natural ingredients, and a bomb is so buying, a man is swing, and a sense of Mama Hoto so it will beg you.
Kale Charcoal Toothpaste. Choose Kale Charcoal Toothpaste for anti-cavity, whiter teeth, and fresher breath all day. Available in 80 gram and 150 gram. Grab yours today.
Kale, happy smile. This advert is FDA approved.
Wabedum tamaso. Hey, J. Watch it, na learning. Missy, watch and learn. Makwaya mabesisia. Abozig. Akachese no ya konate and the more drink woman. Hey. But I didn't mean. Oh, sorry. She knew her old dish. Eji, Dabio, baby womb. Ready? Hey, baby womb. Ah, Eji. I'll cause some discomfort. Ah. Sorry, well, uncle, where would the dad? Why your funeral? At your phone for Aerofield Trading. Sorry, it killed them all.
No mum share landa danya was mosquito call esudu womunumu. Na say spray with them musa. Chaisima edronum ansana ko dynamo.
And Kratoi FDA ajatum.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream. And this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments. And dangerous consequences.
I've been waiting for you to answer my calls, Alvaro. I haven't heard anything from you. I've sent you so many messages, but you've never responded.
Have you left the bus station?
I just want to pay my debt and get out of here. Her photographs are going to sell fast, and she will be our gold mine. Our clients will love those.
Are you looking for a boyfriend?
You're live on Good Morning Ghana on Metro Television, and I'm here with Hamza Suhaini. He is a lawyer and also a member of the NDC's communications team. And Saturday is also here, who's also a member of the MPP's communications team. He's an IT entrepreneur, he's a technologist. So let's get on with the conversation on this ethno-religious conversation. Now, Hamza, you're saying that you think that, be that as it may, with all the reservations and the criticisms that you have against Dr. Bamobi, you still think that he stands tall amongst all the other contenders. The rest, you say, are a threat to our democracy. Why?
Yes, and I'll explain. You see, Muru, but first of all, even before I get to that point, let me state clearly that I think that His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, he owes the good people of this country an apology.
Oh, why?
Especially when it comes to the issue of tribal and religious politics.
Really?
Yes, he needs to apologize for us to move away from that kind of politicking. And if he wants some measure of credibility back, I think that the honorable thing to do is to apologize to all of us for, first of all, introducing it into our body politic. And now seeking to run away from it. It is his own making. He carved out that niche for himself. He built a house for himself, rooted in the ideals of ethnicity and religion. And he's living in it today. So if he feels it, if he thinks that it is repugnant now, the only honorable thing to do, if he still has some measure of credibility, which I want to believe he does, then he needs to apologize, first to the New Patriotic Party, to the good people of this country, also for dabbling in that kind of politics. Clearly unacceptable. But that notwithstanding, I still believe that he is the one better suited to lead the New Patriotic Party. In all honesty. But as to whether indeed he is qualified to become president, he should be given the opportunity to become president again in this country, is something I sincerely believe that we should do everything within our power to keep him away from the presidency. Moro, I say that the likes of Ken, look, we went.
But that's not a good wish for your big brother. To be kept away from the presidency. You should rather wish.
But if your big brother's politics is something that you consider worry, it is only proper that you try to say it in a respectful manner.
Okay.
That as part of our democratic responsibility, let us join hands.
Okay.
To keep him on the bench and ensure that he doesn't get close to the presidency. Because we've lived his presidency before.
Okay.
With Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, and we don't want that again for any of our children.
Okay.
Now, but you see, Moro, he's better. Far, 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 far better than the likes of Ken and Brian. Look, we are talking about two individuals. Now, focus on Ken. We have struggled since 1992 to build an acceptable brand of democracy. We are doing everything within our power to protect this democratic path that we choose for ourselves. Every step of the way, Kennedy Agyapong has been a major threat to that collective effort of ensuring a stable democracy. You remember when His Excellency President President Mills was president of blessed memory. Remember that you can argue that the inspiration once again came from the likes of Bawumia. But remember that comment about Evers and that they should look for pistols?
Please don't repeat it.
Yes.
Please don't repeat it.
Such reckless commentary. Do you know what that could have done to the Republic of Ghana? Do you know what that could have done to those of us who were in this country at the time? That is Kennedy Agyapong. We are talking about a man who clearly does not have a modicum of respect for anybody under the sun. We cannot risk making such a person the president of the Republic of Ghana or flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Who in the NPP hasn't he gone after?
But people change.
In terms of verbal attacks.
Sometimes people change.
Do you sincerely believe that he has changed? Has he told anybody that he has changed?
Maybe he has changed. Maybe.
So this is a gentleman who is even unable to work with his own people within the same political party. And the example of Trump should continue to guide the New Patriotic Party and the Republic of Ghana when it comes to such people being given the opportunity to lead. So for me, this is a dangerous person we must keep away from the presidency. Now, Brian Acheampong, another unethical person. The presidency of the Republic of Ghana is one that must continuously be mirrored in integrity and credibility. We are talking about a gentleman who, when he was a cabinet minister, decided to be part of a decision that nearly led to the sale of state assets to his own private company, and he found nothing wrong with that. And at the back of public complaints, he even proceeded to threaten our members of parliament who were championing against that unethical conduct of his business interest. Have you forgotten? So what would happen to this republic if we wake up tomorrow and Brian Acheampong is president? Even the Flagstaff house will be sold and made a property of Brian Acheampong. Because if he did not have that decency as a cabinet minister to know that there was everything unethically wrong with a decision by his own company to acquire state property whilst he was a sitting cabinet minister, then you can begin to imagine what would happen if the said gentleman is president of the Republic of Ghana. And so that is why I believe, Moro, that from where we sit, this Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is better placed and better than these gentlemen. And it is in the interest of the New Patriotic Party to also know that. It is in their interest to know that.
Yeah.
But from where we sit, whoever they bring our way, I can assure you that our utmost responsibility now is to deliver on the campaign promises we made to the good people of this country.
Okay.
And ensure that in the next 4 years, they deem it appropriate to once again renew the mandate of the National Democratic Congress. That is what we are committed to.
Okay.
But in doing so, we also appreciate that it is our political responsibility to continue to expose the New Patriotic Party and the kind of people they are parading as possible leaders of the Republic of Ghana, so that the Ghanaian people would know that when it comes to choice, the NPP ought not to be an option.
Okay.
Especially when it comes to us, who leads the Republic of Ghana.
Right.
That discourse, the NPP, should not be brought close to it. Okay. And this gives us an opportunity to begin to empower many of the smaller political parties we have in the system to provide that competitive drive to our electoral politics. Because I think that since 1992, the NPP has demonstrated its unwillingness to be part of any progress when it comes to our democratic journey.
All right.
And the time has come for us to shut the door on them and start afresh.
Okay.
As a republic.
All right, so let me read a few messages, and then we hopefully should end this and then move on to another topic, because we can't spend all day talking about this. Now Tafa from Amrahia says that, good morning, Mr. Audu. To be honest, I don't wish the MPP any success, but here, I sympathize with my brother, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The attack on him and his wife is unfair, because when Samara was entering every town, every community campaign, including getting almost 60% of Fulani voters to join the MPP, they were then praising her, but today they are questioning her nationality. That is MPP for you. Musa Batua from Asawasi says, good morning, Moro. I fully support the assertion Lawyer Hamza is making regarding the unfortunate tribal comments from some MPP bigwigs. This only goes to confirm the caution NDC gave Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia during the 2024 elections when he was campaigning against John Mahama. The truth is, he started this divisive path, and now it has come back to bite him. He should therefore carry his own wahala without shifting any blame. Mystic Wonder Avuko, I believe I got the pronunciation correctly. He says that inside in Sawamadu, he says, good morning to you, Moro, and your panelists. It's easy for a camel to pass through a hole of a needle than a non-account to become a president on the ticket of the MPP. Dr. Bamia should advise himself. Honorable Safumanfo once said, Ghans do not have natural resources, so they cannot lead the NPP. Never again to this tribalistic, nepotistic NPP. My regards to Chairman Dr. Oliver. Now, Carlos from Ododio, he sends a message. He says, good morning, my brother Moro. The NPP making tribalistic and religious statements is nothing new. They are fond of doing so. If you recall, way back in 2016, Dr. Bamia himself made a very serious statement claiming that President Mahama has turned the Flagstaff House into a prayer camp, into a religious center. Anytime he comes, he will make sure to bring religion into the Flagstaff House, particularly with reference to Muslims. That was a clearly tribalistic and religious remark. As for Dr. Brani Champon, this is not his new. He has been making such statements for a long time, and they continue to hail him. Even some of those sitting on the studios have been fond of making similar comments. So the NPP making such statements is nothing new. Let us rather focus on the economy, which is performing better now. Thank you, Carlos Ododio. And this one here from Sebastian in Accra. He says, I wish to strongly condemn the use of ethnocentric comments in our political space. Such remarks are deeply harmful as they promote division, discrimination, and mistrust among citizens who should be united by shared national goals. Politics should be about ideas, policies, and solutions, not about where someone comes from or what language they speak. Now, when leaders resort to ethnic rhetoric, they weaken our democracy and endanger the social fabric that holds us together. It is time for all political actors to rise above identity politics and embrace a more inclusive, respectful, and issue-based approach to leadership. Our country deserves better. Sebastian from Accra. I think it's Sebastian. Yeah, that's, I think, but Sebastian Syme. He sends that message. Now, Kwesi Reynolds in Agona Odobing says, the surest way to end this tribal and religious politics is to vote decisively against any aspirant who walks this path. It will send the strongest signal to all to put a stop to it. We have a country to build, and if this primitive politics continues, it will come back to bite us. Kwesi Reynolds in Odobing, Agona Odobing. Alhaji Hamza, Big Farm. Good morning, my brother. I'm surprised to see that Dr. Bamia is all over the place and even in the U.S. complaining about tribal politics against him and the wife. My brother, let us not forget that Dr. Mahmoud Bamia himself, benefiting from tribal and religious politics the last time he benefited in 2024. Dr. Bamia was all over the place campaigning and telling people to vote for him because he was a Muslim and a Northerner, and for that matter, he was going to win all the votes from the North. He should give us a break. What goes round comes around. Now, Fifi Kofi Ebusia Penyin. Hey, this man, you did long time, long time, Kofi. He says that if Adade is not aware, I will offer him free education. It was during Mohammed's first term which he secured $125 million facility from Canadian government called Maple, that's modernizing agriculture for productivity to the local economy. Akufo-Addo and MP came to power, and in March 2017, they changed the name to Planting for Food and Jobs. What was the result? It was during the same period or era of Planting for Food and Jobs which they went to borrow 27,000 tons of maize and rice from ECOWAS. Dr. Brenchampo also borrowed 5,000 tons of cereals from AU. So what is the record of MP concerning the agri sector? And it's Adade, please come again. And this one, Al-Hassan Bosa. I'm told you got married just recently, I believe. Or is it a naming ceremony, one of those things? Please pardon me. I think it's a naming ceremony, I believe, yes. So whatever it is, congratulations, Al-Hassan. He says that the good people of Ghana made a decisive decision by voting for President JDM. So far, so good. No more doom. So as for Dr. Bamia, the least said about him, the better. He is no wonder today his own party members are using it against him. These are some of the tribal comments he made in past. Dr. Mahmoud Bamia in 2016 told Muslims to vote for the MPP so that he will represent them with the Holy Quran and the Jubilee. A vote for me to be president will open more doors for Muslims and Zongo dwellers. You know, I will beat Mahama in the north, change the Zongos. I'm also a northerner, so vote for me, Dr. Bamia, to search our front place constituents. Dr. Bamia accused Mohammed's presidency of being biased against Muslims in the country. According to Dr. Mahmoud Bamia, in May 2016, the current seat of government is occupied by persons who are from the Christian fraternity, which to me does not create balance within the highest political positions in Ghana. And he says, Salamu alaikum. Okay, wa alaikum assalam. Okay. This one says, Eben from Kwabenya says, the impotent and incapacitated elephant should stop the baseless accusations against the NDC and Akutia, focus on having a formidable opposition to put the government in check for a better nation. Greetings to Honorable MC Agbo of Ghana East, TDC Boss Courage Makafu Inunekbeku, and Mr. Kwesi Mensa of PSC Tema Shipyard. He's always greeting these people anyway. So, in all of this, anyway, so I don't know Ernest, I think we should move on. Or you still have some
No, I just want to touch on
the show
two
with
things.
this.
Quick.
Okay.
2 or 3.
Right.
My brother Sweeney,
Hamza.
Hamza made some serious hate statements. I'll call them hate statements.
Okay.
And I don't know why he should hate business. People should love business. He referenced Brian Champon's company, Rock City's bid to buy some more hotels and expand and employ Ghanaian people as thievery, and he will want to buy Jubilee House. Why would any Ghanaian make that statement? But he's coming from the NDC stock. The Rollins kind of thinking. Don't buy a Ghanaian who produces soap. You remember that one, Apino soap?
No, not the trust of my salvation.
No. That is the trust.
Don't seek to belittle the
statements I will call it. We are discussing a tribal issue. And when you
I was
make
careful with my
statements
choice of words. I said
you are talking about Kennedy
a cabinet minister, a sitting cabinet minister.
The
So put
sitting
it in
cabinet
perspective.
minister and his business are not the same. And you have NDC people who own businesses who recuse themselves, they've moved from their businesses and they are in government. Is that not true? So if their businesses, there is something to bid for, and the business bids for, now you bring the human being and his business and join them and make these claims. Was there any reason, did he have any facts as to whether Brian Champon's company was taking those companies for free like they did with the Uduyayas and things in the earlier Smith companies? Did you know that the guest houses that were given to them, most of them, they didn't even pay for them? So you see, we have had this conversation already.
What was
and
he?
It's done.
Let us know.
But what I'm saying is that
Moro, don't let him go with this sweeping statement.
Brand company which is called
it has to do with the image.
You say you will not sell.
Moro, I will not allow it. If you would allow
the hate statement I am talking
about.
Let me land. Please, I want to land on this.
No.
No, let me land. You see, when I'm not. I'm saying that they earlier on diversified under the diversity implementation program. They diversified companies belonging to SNIT that were bought by these people who are pro-NDC and PEPs, political exposed people under the NDC. Why would the NDC always think that they qualify? What I'm saying is, me being a cabinet minister,
what is he
and
saying?
my company decides to bid, not to do sole sourcing, decided to bid for companies that are being diversified by the country. The diversity implementation program that was implemented by you, where STC was sold to an NDC exposed person, where the earlier Smith companies were exposed, they were sold to NDC exposed people, and they owned it. And an MPP exposed person, his company wants to buy some, you had a problem with it, and he backed off. He did not annex them
I think it's a matter of perspectives.
It's
he
not
doesn't see anything wrong with
what
it.
I am saying is, for him to say that Brian will want to annex the Jubilee House, please, and then you called Kennedy Ejapon what? That's serious, and I believe he should withdraw it. I am telling you, he should withdraw it. How do you say Kennedy Ejapon? The person who has opened more, when in fact, the things you say about the Akufo-Addo government, and this ones, I told you I'm not comfortable discussing these things. But when things were happening that Kennedy Ejapon felt that they were not right, he spoke out. He did not hide in the room. And then when he spoke out about those things, you came back, you use it. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying this right or wrong. What I'm saying is that he is the kind of person who has always been sincere to the people. He, Kennedy Ejapon, had spoken about things that you thought were also wrong. He thought if he thinks he has an opinion and he expresses that opinion and you say he's a threat to your democracy, has he organized a coup in this country that this country had to go, or His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is there and you heard that. What did you hear? Why did you think that Kennedy is a threat to the democracy of Ghana? I want him, Moro, please, this was said on your show, and he must withdraw it. I am telling you that this must be withdrawn unless he has any proof to tell me that Kennedy had been able to do something in this country that undermined the democracy of this country. If the fellow speaks out, democracy, what are the tenets of democracy? Is it not free speech?
Persons and kill their
He did not say go and kill anybody. That statement is there. Yes, he did not tell you go and kill him. When he said that you are attacking him. If you attack him,
are you proud of his conduct with the Ahmed Aswale unfortunate murder? His conduct in the whole issue. Do you have
evidence that he murdered Ahmed Swale?
The question I'm asking is it the same thing as
are you saying he murdered Ahmed Swale?
I'm not saying that. I'm asking you. I can answer clearly. I am not saying that. I'm asking you, are you happy with his conduct surrounding that issue?
And his boss,
are you happy about it?
Had attacked people. They went against judges in this country. I met a certain man. He said he was a court bailiff. They came, they wanted to see the judge. He facilitated his job. He did his job. He facilitated the process of meeting the judge. They went and met the judge. As they were walking out, they gave him 20 cedis. They came and said that they gave that guy a bribe, and that guy has been sacked, and he is home. I met the guy, he walked from Kaswa. The things that he did, and the people, look, Kwesi Nyampeki had risen to the peak of his career as a sports administrator in this country. And that's dismantled the guy. There are judges home. I have a classmate who was one of the judges that Anas took things against. The guy they said has taken a vote. And what I am saying is, Hamza, what I'm saying is, if anybody, Kennedy, is the only Hamza, you are in this country when Anas was perpetrating this injustice against the people of Ghana.
No, not
and
every
Ghanaians,
act of Anas
high-level
as injustice.
and Hamza could not speak a word against what Anas was doing. The only person who stood up in this country to defend the people of Ghana was Kennedy Japan. He took the guy to court. He won it. The guy took him to court in the US. He won it. You couldn't do anything to help your country when the guy was dismantling the country with his own hands.
The justification is to
behave in a way when for you to come and
innocent citizen loses his life. This is your justification for the Ahmed Swale's death.
Good Morning Ghana and call.
Is this your justification for the unfortunate demise of Ahmed Swale?
When the man's free speech is defending the democracy of Ghana, Anas had gone against judges. The third estate of the realm. So that justifies the murder of Ahmed Swale. He stood up individually. Alone to defend the judges.
So that justifies the murder of Ahmed Swale.
Did he murder Ahmed Swale?
I'm not saying he murdered him.
That is what you are saying on Good Morning Ghana, and I'm telling you, if you can prove it,
and you are giving me reasons why people would have been after him.
Why do you call him a threat to the democracy of Ghana and attach it to Ahmed Swale's death? Tell me, you are telling me that he is attached to Ahmed Swale's death, and I'm telling you, do you have evidence that he murdered Ahmed Swale? If you don't have that evidence, withdraw what you said. Because Kennedy is the only person who stood to defend the democracy of Ghana when you and all your bosses were quiet.
Which bosses? You
and your bosses. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama was in this country when Anas was messing up. He didn't rise up. The only person who rose up was Kennedy Japan. And he rose up on himself as an individual and fought the guy.
If that is what you want to believe, I will allow you to believe that.
No, that's not what I want to believe. I mean that statement you made,
you know how they have their own alternate universe. They create their own dreams and they live in it. This is a hate statement he made and he must withdraw it. Do you hate him? Why do you hate him?
Okay.
Because let me tell you, you spoke about Moro.
Hamza, do you hate him?
I wanted no, that was a hate statement. How do you call me a threat to the democracy of Ghana? What is democracy? Free speech. The guy expressed free speech. What is democracy? Democracy is we expressing that he wants to go for an election. Kennedy hasn't picked the gun to
that
make
is what gives me the right to criticize him.
He hasn't.
The same democratic right that he has to contest. It is that same
Kennedy
right
hasn't picked the gun to make a coup. So you cannot say that. And Moro, this is Good Morning Ghana. Look, you see, somebody made a statement about PFJ, Planting for Food and Jobs. And I just wrote that. This is Good Morning Ghana. You can't come and conjecture. He doesn't know anything about Planting for Food and Jobs. So you can't come and say, because of some loan, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama acquired and he spent it before he left office and planted. He is rather stealing from Planting for Food and Jobs. Let me be clear on this. His project on agriculture is just Planting for Food and Jobs renamed. He has annexed the idea. Let me withdraw the wise field and say he has annexed the Planting for Food and Jobs idea and renamed it. Your water guards. The people you are giving cane.
Does he know the history of the Planting for Food and Jobs?
Those people you are
giving cane. Does he know the one who worked on their first loan? Does he know?
The people they are giving cane to go and chase.
Are you kidding me?
And was the same water guards that Akufo-Addo commissioned. And the people that you were going to commission and we had the disaster is the same how do you call it? Community mining that Akufo-Addo. You are just doing exactly what Akufo-Addo did that you criticized. So when you come and sit here, look, he was talking about Mahama being infrastructure king. The only thing he mentioned, and mentioned rightly, was circular interchange.
Okay.
You were given $200 million from Credit Suisse with an interest to build Sagleme. You couldn't deliver one single one. You told the people of Ghana, vote for me, I will give you 200 e-blocks. You were able to build 29. You cannot be an infrastructure king when you had less than 12%.
So when
you didn't have you had less than 12% of your flagship project. When Akufo-Addo had delivered his free school project, and he delivered it to success fully. So, Moro, what I'm saying is, I want to dwell on this. He had effectively attacked and assassinated Kennedy Ejapon, a Democrat. He was an MP. He stood MP. He was MP for 16 years. He never picked a gun. He never fought anybody. He spoke.
Okay.
Democracy. Tenets of democracy.
The rest of the 2 minutes, Hamza.
So you cannot come and sit here and say he's a threat to the democracy of Ghana. That is wrong. And Hamza, this is conjecture. Stop it. Tribal bigotry. I will end. Who made worse tribal statements than NDC people? Fifi Kwete. No.
Are you trying to hijack
what did Fifi Kwete? If I said look at I even went ahead to say that NDC women should not marry NPP.
Wrap it up for me, please.
What was more tribal?
Moro.
He said women should not marry.
Moro.
Yeah, Hamza, please wrap it up for me. We have just 2 minutes.
I feel sorry for my brother. You see how he's screaming on top of his voice. You see how he's screaming. That is how difficult it is to defend.
Okay.
The Honorable Kennedy Ejapon.
All right.
That is how difficult it is. You see, you are irritated. You are trying to defend.
Making that statement.
And you see, let me.
Oh, let him. No. Let him land. No, don't do that. Let him land. Enes, don't do that. Let him land. He has expressed an opinion. Let him land.
This cannot be an opinion when you are.
Hamza, don't take us off. Otherwise, we'll be talking.
Yes. So, Moro, you see, first of all, it is pathetic that, in any case, even the Honorable Kennedy Ejapon had to put himself in this web for him to attempt such a spirited defense. That is not flying.
Okay.
That tells you that the candidate Kennedy Ejapon is a problem.
Okay.
From the word go.
All right.
And it is not just Kennedy Ejapon. Largely also all the flag bearer aspirants who are Ghanaian to lead. When it comes to integrity, they all lacked that requisite integrity to be able to provide leadership. For the new patriotic party, and most importantly for the Republic of Ghana.
10 hours, you can't finish.
And I do not want to intrude much.
Let me thank you very much. Don't take us off. It's not me. Don't take us off. Here's the thing. Don't take us off. That's our new online. That's our new Metro Online. Please go there and read some of the stories we have there.
I forgot. Kennedy is submitting his form tomorrow.
Anyway, thanks for watching Good Morning Ghana. Hamza and Estaradi, thank you very much for joining us on the show. My name is Aldo Moro. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Some loves are born in the blink of an eye.
I've been madly in love with her since the first time I saw her. Then let's get married today.
I'll be the happiest woman in the world by your side.
And they kill your soul in a flash. Televisa presents You Are the One. Angela dreams of keeping her promise to be a great doctor and help her people. To Alvaro, ambition is stronger than his dream, and this greed will lead him to commit the worst betrayal to the woman he loves.
I will have a husband no matter what.
Samantha, will you please marry me?
Turning all her dreams into painful disappointments and dangerous consequences.